case of bands that only have one or two people riding based on how they're limiting themselves?
I think they suck.
Seattle.
Any of you guys consider yourself visionaries?
I consider myself to be a visionary.
I consider myself.
I consider Chris to be a visionary. Only that
Visionary. I mean, you come in sort of secondary visionary, but you wouldn't be able to see that really, you know.
Yeah.
Had a chance to see any of the other bands play at all?
I've seen everybody except Lush so far.
Who's the best? Who did you like the best?
Soundgarden was good. They came in like a close second to us.
Navy training dolphins to kill divers.
Very cool.
Yeah. Jeff Smullian dating Monica Hart.
What are you doing with that guy?
Yeah. You haven't called me in weeks.
It's flattering to be influential, but you know, it's like if you go to the store and you buy a really nice dress, and then you go to a party and some other bitch is wearing the dress. Even though you might like her, maybe she was your old roommate or something, but it's still, you know, you wish you wouldn't wear it because you bought it first.
Soundgarden is a state of mind. Soundgarden is a frame of time.
Soundgarden is a sub-reference.
It's more of an essence than a sum or matter. It's more of an afterthought.
It's kind of a loose steering wheel. It's mischievous yet playful.
It's a tear from an eye dreaming.
An ancient evil awakened to slaughter his family. A mythical quest will treacherous perils await. Lovers bound by destiny. Darkness gathers as a new game begins. One man's rage will shake worlds. Cordrath, The Awakening. Only on Indiegogo. Back it now!
I told that moron not to take out my Tchaikovsky tape. No matter, let's get started. Here we are, Nancy Moon. The last time we left our heroine, she had just joined my esteemed colleagues at level M. And the soldier cannot stop talking. A magician with money issues. A vampire with a checkered past. But there are other teammates she has yet to meet. One in particular might be a
Yeah. Yes, and yeah. And all of the yes things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Feel Better About Yourself show, number something. I forgot. I don't know which number. So let me bring these people in here. We got Peter Gilmore and we've got Carbon Heart. What's going on, guys?
What up?
Hi.
What's up? Not you again.
With my shitty StreamYard, powered by StreamYard background. I know. Everybody's like, you need to buy StreamYards. It's like, oh, I don't want to spend the money on it.
And especially since they put the price up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's no good. Johnny Scab says, oi, oi, thanks. Thanks for coming on earlier, lads. Brilliant, Natter. Okay, Peter, what does Natter mean?
Chat.
Okay, cool. Cool. I was about to say that stream was a belter of a stream. Absolute belter.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and there's more to be said.
Oh, for sure. And I told Johnny the other day that it'd only be a belter on Scabcast if he didn't have any wobblers on there. So, Peter, you know what that slang term refers to?
Wobblers.
Wobblers.
I mean, it could mean a few things.
Bunch of fucking wobblers, mate.
Well, I mean, a wobbler over here. I mean, a phrase would be throwing a wobbler, which is having a tantrum.
Oh.
A wobbler is a tantrum. And also, a wobbler can be something very racist about a certain ethnicity.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we're interested to know what that racist slur.
Yeah, I'm not saying it.
Okay.
Peter doesn't delve into that kind of discussion.
On my channel, we're very fascinated by outdated slang terms for racial groups. So, just so you know.
So, Patrick, what's the origin of the Feel Better About Yourself show? Why did you name it that?
I would say, this isn't me trying to get pity points. This is just me saying, I just say things the way that they are. There was times in my life that were like really not good. And so the Feel Better About Yourself show was a way for people to like look at my life and go, oh, thanks. It's a way for people to look at my show and go, oh, well, I guess my problems aren't all that bad. Like, I'm not that guy. You know what I mean?
We need the end music from the Incredible Hulk TV series just playing in the background to that.
Yes.
Do, 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 do.
Yes.
Do, do.
Or the Peanuts, the bang 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 bang. You know?
So I'm going to start a show called the Feel Like Shit show.
There you go.
Feel worse, you bastards show.
Right.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Like I still want to. I mean, I've got to get back to YouTubing properly again, but I still want to do like the shill shows. I want to do a shill show where I'm a bastard to people. I need that. You're gonna be very brave to come on because I will shred the shit out of your
Peter,
artwork.
You should do it on the Commandos, because when you were talking about shill shows, I'm like, wait a minute, that's what we do.
Dude, I did it for years and years with Mandy. We did so many shill shows. You're
British, you know what I mean? Like, people receiving harsh criticism from a British guy, it's easier than it is to receive from an American guy. I mean, Simon Cowell, huge in America.
I could do my best Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It'll be like Kitchen Nightmares, but for comics.
Yeah. Who's the artist? The artist is a fucking idiot sandwich.
Right.
You donkey!
Yeah.
You like look at the art and you go, looks like shite to me.
Yeah. Go to bed. It's only 2:40 a.m.
Hello, scissors with the runs. Oh, that's kind of actually that's kind of I like that. That's funny.
It's also
Look,
deeply disgusting.
The picture there looks like it's got the runs on the scissors. That's awesome. Go to bed, Peter. He's saying, not us, Peter.
No, I'm up all night. Like, I knew I was going to do the stream with Johnny, so I adjusted my sleep pattern over the last few days. So I'm going to be awake till,
Yeah. I forgot.
Apparently, a lot of Comicsgate lives on the odd side of the day, right? Where they sleep during sunlight and they're awake all night.
Yeah. Unless, like, when I'm doing like traditional art, you need daylight. So if I'm doing digital shit, I'm up all night. And if I'm doing traditional, gotta have like nice real sunlight. Interesting fact there.
I'm trying to get into a pattern where I do like 3-hour naps, like scattered throughout.
Oh, dude, don't do it. I did that for years. Done that for years, and it just messes with your head. You don't know what's happening, and you're just kind of like a zombie.
It feels. I mean, I've done it, and it feels like I'm pretty much up all day. Like it feels like I'm pretty much up all day and night.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time, and then maybe once a month I'd just crash and sleep for like 13 hours.
Yeah.
just to recharge. Luckily, I did that last night. I slept for like 12 hours.
That sounds nice.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it was great. It was great. I woke up and it was like, I didn't feel like shit. I felt great. I was bouncing around, all happy, put some tunes on. Sun was shining. It was fantastic.
Apple Pits, if you're watching this, can you... I can't message you on Twitter. There's some people I don't know why I can't message you, so I can't send you the link. And I don't want to put it into the chat because then Frederick Gumont might come on and he's Canadian. We don't want to do that to anybody. Just kidding. I love you, Frederick. That was a joke that fell flat as fuck. Damn.
I wasn't following Bosch. What? He's not following me though. Fuck you, Bosch.
Mr. Self-Destruct, are you in a position in which you want to come on? We were talking last night. You wanna hop on, brother? Let me know.
Send him the link on Twitter.
I will send him the link. He's making the rounds now on people's channels. He's a real guy. That's gonna go on your permanent record, Patrick. I know. I mean, we were talking. That brother, That dude was fucking. He told me he was like 32 shots deep or something last night, and I was like,
Holy
"There's
shit.
no way. There's
Who?
not a way." But he wasn't lying.
Who's this?
Mr. Self-Destruct.
Oh, really?
Talk about a guy who really lives up to his name.
32 shots of what?
He said, what did he say? I think it was
Wheatgrass.
whiskey. I think it was whiskey.
Yeah, that's like suicide at that point.
He says 40 by the time I passed out. Motherfucker, there is no way. I still don't believe you. I still don't believe you. Cane sugar vodka.
Either
Actually,
you're
now I
lying
believe
or
you.
you tried to kill yourself.
Right? Oh, man.
40, I could do 40 shots in a day. You know, over the day, maybe.
Over the 24. Okay, wait a minute. No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do the math on this.
I'm fucking huge.
Are you really? Are you a tall guy?
Well, it's an issue. It's 6'4". I'm 6'4" with a really high metabolism. It just
Actually. Yeah, 6'4". That's quite the height right there.
Yeah, we were discussing it on.
You'd be a great
Johnny's
fighter,
channel
you know. It's 6'4". What's your weight? What do you weigh in at? If you
I
don't mind
have
me
no
asking.
clue. I have not weighed myself in decades.
More power to you.
Because does it matter? If I look in the mirror and I look like a fat bastard, then I need to lose weight, you know?
Fat bastard.
That is the secret.
It is. If you look like a fatty fat ass, then you are a fatty fat ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
A blubber belly.
I love British slang so much. Like, and you guys, you British people, you real British people might look upon me as like, oh, this kid. But like the Hugh and Laurie, have you ever watched that? Have we talked about this?
Hugh Laurie. Oh, you mean
the bit of Fry and Laurie?
Fry and Laurie, yeah. They were fucking great.
Oh my gosh. Amazing show.
They were great. They were really good. But that show was back before the wokering happened, you know? And I mean, Stephen Fry still kind of doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Hugh Laurie went a little bit Hollywood, you know? He did, what was that? House. He did House. And he obviously saw who was paying the bills for him and just turned into a pussy.
What? Because I only watched the first 3 seasons of that. Did it get woke?
House?
No. House. No, it didn't get woke, but that's when he started like mingling in the Hollywood scene and you know, so
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that because I liked House at first, but somewhere around the middle of the series, it did take a turn where it's not that it was woke, but they flipped the whole script where the main character House was like subjected to this cop who was like taking justice upon him for malpractice, and then the show completely sucked after that because it's like it's not what you wanted to see. You wanted to see House being a great doctor, not this kind of bullshit.
Being a great doctor and a bit of a dick, and you know, and then not a bit of a dick, a fucking huge dick.
Yeah.
So it was kind of woke before woke even was a thing. It was kind of already woke,
They kind of castrated him a little, didn't they, as a character? Yeah.
Well, I was watching a bit of Fry and Laurie the other night, and I noticed some very distinct political commentary in it, which when I was younger, when I was a kid, I didn't notice at all. But then I noticed this time, but then I was like, you know, like in relation to the political commentary that we receive on the daily in every show that exists now, like this is nothing. Like I'm okay with this, you know. I don't maybe agree with this. Like I like Margaret Thatcher. I don't agree with it. They don't like Margaret Thatcher, but whatever, you know. It wasn't. It was tasteful. It was.
Trust me, if you grew up in Britain, or you were in Britain at the time when Thatcher was in power, you fucking hated her.
Well,
she was an evil bitch.
But could that possibly be like, look at it like this, Peter? This is the way I look at it because I'm an American and I'm also, I would say, a conservative American. I look at it like the British people have been so indoctrinated and controlled by Marxists for so long that that's what they think about certain things. But I mean, and you can see now that like the British people are now suffering from the effects of Marxism, essentially. Like we already talked about the whole, invasion of Islam and all that kind of stuff. And now you guys are kind of suffering from that. So do you think maybe that's a contributing factor, or do you think that she really was an evil bitch?
She was an evil bitch. She made our lives misery. Yeah.
How so?
She took things away from us when we, even down to things like, this is going to sound weird, but she took our milk away. When we were kids, every day at school, you would get a glass of milk, bottle of milk, these little tiny bottles. It was great. Good for you. Plenty of families out there that didn't have any money because she was taking away the jobs and fighting with the unions, and it was all horrible chaos. And she decided that even though we were all poor and the kids probably weren't getting much nutrition, she'd just take that away from us as well. That was she did a lot of stuff that pissed a lot of people off. She wasn't very fond of the working man.
She took the question for you, out of life.
Peter, did she try to increase gun rights for British citizens?
No.
Okay. All right.
Because no.
Do you have a better in that topic,
gun rights?
Or are you kind
gun rights
on that?
Gun rights aren't an issue over here at all. No one gives a shit. No one wants them. No one needs them.
Do you think though that's
and I know you're going to disagree and go, oh my guns, but we've not had them in decades, But the only people that kind of have guns are the criminals and the police. They're the only two. If you want a gun, you can get a gun. When I was younger, we used to go shooting, out in the field like birds, and not like, properly going out. There was adults there. You'd go with a shotgun, clay pigeons, or pheasant, or whatever. Because I'm a countryside boy.
So, what is the actual legality? Like, it sounds like you can get hunting weapons,
you can,
right?
You can get a weapon as long as you can prove you need it for something, or like for sport, and you can get them. Yeah, you can get guns. You can get plus. Not that I've ever tried, but I do know that if I wanted a gun now, I know exactly where to go and get one.
Yeah,
wouldn't be legal, but
What about a shotgun? Is it legal to? How hard is it to buy a shotgun?
Well, that's what we used to use when we were for the hunting. Shotguns, and occasionally rifles, but mostly shotguns.
Okay. All right.
Like
so
the big ass double barrel, huge fuckers.
So then it's not as bad as everyone thinks then, because if you're able to legally acquire the guns, it's not, because everyone says Australia.
Right? It's strict, and you really have to prove you need it, But like if say a farmer, for example, perfect example of someone who would need a shotgun, because of vermin and blah blah blah. Yeah, no problem.
But I've got vermin around my neighborhood too. I need an AK-47 and 5.56, don't I?
When I was growing up, one of my best friends is. I come from it's the countryside. It's a really tiny village. It was at the time. It's all expanded now and it's horrible, but it was a really tiny village. And one of my best friends growing up, his dad owned the gun shop, the gun store. So I remember buying a Colt Python 45. The police. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So technically, guns are legal there then.
They're not legal. Firearms are legal. Put it that way, if that makes sense.
Everyone makes it sound like you guys can't have guns at all.
Well, it seems like you have to be really rich or have some explicit reason that.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, like, if I see, look at this. She's stuck now. Get off. There it is. Okay,
dude, it's when the claws go into the fabric and
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
She was like, But
They're just plotting. You'll get one either side, and all of a sudden you'll just float away.
Right. But you can't have like I have several different guns for several different things, and to be honest with you, I don't even have a shotgun yet, which makes me very sad. It makes me very upset. But you can't like. Can you have rifles like in rifle caliber 5.56, 7.62 by 39, like that kind of like?
I wouldn't know. I know you can have rifles. Yes, you can have rifles. But like Johnny says in the chat, like handguns are banned.
See, that doesn't make any sense.
Because yeah, but what do you? I'm not getting into this debate because I know you're going to completely disagree with me. So we're never going to agree. So what's the point?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, there's absolutely no point me debating this with you.
Ruffles, not non-automatic, says Johnny. No. I don't want to debate necessarily. I just want to like understand the British mentality behind the whole thing, because to me it seems like y'all are fucked now with immigration, and it seems like if you'd had the ability to say to really put the pressure on your government and say, hey guys, this is what's going to happen because you're the government.
How would the guns help with that?
Well, because the government's the only one at the current stage right now. The government in Britain is the only one who has the guns.
Well.
So they can tell you this is what's going to happen.
Technically speaking, yes.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Is they can say to you, this is what's going to happen. And you can say, well, I don't like this, so I don't want to do this. And they go, okay,
well, this is it. But if the citizens had guns as well, the government and the authorities would have bigger guns. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I guarantee your government has got bigger shit than you have.
Yes, but when it comes
and there's more of them and they're more organized.
They're certainly more organized. I'll admit that to you 100%.
So, I mean, the outcome in the end is.
So I guess that's the thing that confuses me.
We kind of have very different mentalities, I think, the British, and when it comes to.
Yeah. I want to know your mentality. I want to know why you guys think.
And you also have to understand that while two-party system, while your two parties are very different compared to us, ours are pretty much identical.
Sure.
At the moment, we've got Conservative and Labour, which are the equivalents of the Democrats, and
I wish.
And they are pretty much identical. Knives. I own knives. We're not supposed to own knives over a certain length, but I got some big ass knives.
Are brass
well, here's the question:
illegal in England?
Some of them are. Oh, what?
I said, are brass knuckles illegal?
I think
because they're illegal over here.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying whether I've got an old commando brass knuckle with the knife blade. Those old ones.
Yeah.
The old school ones. I'm not saying because I don't. So no one should come and knock on my door because I don't own them, and I don't own an SAS double bladed dagger. Don't own one of them. Don't own a crossbow. Don't own.
Johnny says you get 8 years for having knuckles.
8 years for knuckles.
Wow.
You slag.
You slag? Wait, what does slag mean?
Slag. I mean, technically, slag is like a slut. A hoe. A felt, but like a really dirty one. Really common kind of dirty one.
Oh, a really dirty one. Okay.
Yeah.
You can call anyone a slag, though.
But
Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris is a slag, then, I guess.
The funny thing is, that makes me laugh every time I see like whatever white men for Harris and black men for Harris. Right. Harris over here is Cockney rhyming slang for ass. Butt. So Biden Harris, Biden's butt. It's funny.
Old Kamala.
Oh, that's good.
It's funny.
So that's Kamala, basically.
That's good.
This weekend, last night was Saturday night, and so it was Saturday Night Live, the show on NBC.
Oh, yeah.
Which has been terrible for decades.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently there was a skit last night in which Kamala and her husband were portrayed. So there was a skit about them.
Right.
And I forgot. I think her name is Maya Rudolph. Does a
Oh,
very
yeah,
good
yeah,
job of impersonating Kamala. But for the first time, it actually mocked Kamala and her husband. And because usually, obviously, it's always that show makes fun of Republicans and they always defend liberals. But for the first time, they actually made fun of Kamala and her husband and of what's his name, Tim Walz.
Mm-hmm.
They were watching the debate, and then basically, they pointed out how foolish he sounded, and impersonated the lines he said. But the thing is, it's funny how comedy is such a litmus test of like public opinion.
Yeah.
Because it almost predicts how the public is swaying. It's hard to say
absolutely.
what the chicken or the egg is, whether the comedy follows the public opinion or the public opinion is going to follow the comedy. But I thought it was a turning point because maybe now finally, hopefully, people are seeing how ridiculous Kamala actually is.
I think comedians tend to be some of the first people to have the balls to push back on things, or to. It'll be interesting to see who from all the people who fall in lockstep with the. I don't know, what do you want to call them, the commie regime or what? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Those people. See who's the first to flop away from that. That'll be interesting. Because they've all seen how people like Ricky Gervais have been treated. Although he's still making a ton of money and still massively popular, so maybe he's not a good example. But there are, comedians getting told not to do things and getting threatened. So I think they can actually arrest comedians over here now. I think.
Funny how that works. You guys created jesters, and now they're not allowed anymore. So.
Right, I've got a dog staring at me. Dog staring at me because I've got food. Fuck off, you little shit.
He's awake now, is he?
Oh, she is. He's good. He's a good boy. He's lying on the couch back there. She's decided to sit a foot away from me and stare at cheese. It's your favourite, isn't it? But you're not having it. No. I'm not pulling the camera in because you're not stealing the show. Fuck you with your big dog eyes. But I need cheese.
Right. You've got food, master.
You're just like, I'm starving. I never get fed.
Does she talk like the gay British person that I've done before?
Yeah.
Oh, Peter, please give me some extra cheese.
She does. And the other one, the big stupid dog, he's like,
Right. What's up? What you want about then?
What you want about?
Johnny Scab in the chat says, send Katie the link. This is a sausage fest.
Tis done.
CG is usually a sausage fest.
That's true.
I mean, what do you expect?
Well, comic books are usually a sausage fest. And you know what's funny? Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people were like, "Oh, girls are interested in comic books" in around about 2010, 2011, and they were like, "Yeah, comic books. I guess I love comic books." And then they got involved, and then they destroyed everything.
I'm such a geek girl.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love comic books. Batman's like, bye.
No, they only like wearing the cosplay. That's the only thing they're into, the costumes.
Well, we like.
I totally love comics, and I'll buy my photo set.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Here's me dressed up as fucking that one character from Mortal Kombat. Okay.
The internet has proven. Well, the internet has done a lot of things in the last.
You don't have to shower, Katie. You could just hop on. You don't even You could just put a hat on. That's what guys do.
Just a hat.
Well,
sorry, that was sexist. That was,
you son of a bitch.
No, that's fine. So I can make my sexist jokes now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I made a sexist
proven
the other night. Go ahead. Sorry.
One of the things the internet has proven is that women, when they're given opportunity or they enter the domain of a new industry, they just turn it into porn, right? Because they got into comics, it became cosplay, and then it turned into now they're a
Into
porn
porn.
star.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything else on the internet that they get into. Oh no, I'm into this now. Like crypto, like I'm a forex trader or I'm a crypto trader. Then eventually, oh, here's my OnlyFans link.
Right. It's weird. It's almost like women are, oriented towards. Never mind. I'm just gonna.
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna shut up here.
Just
Johnny
yeah.
says, Pat could at least make an effort and put a dress on like Matt Barr does when he pretends to be his wife, Matt Bear. I keep saying Barr. I'm just
No,
gonna
it's
keep saying
it's bar. It is bar.
Oh, is it? It's Bart. Oh my God! See, this is
Barr.
how stupid I
You
am.
pulled a Mandela effect on yourself, where you reversed your original error.
I'm so sorry, folks. It's just that I care so little about that man that I don't even put the effort in to figure out what his name is.
Yeah.
I could put a dress on like Matt Barr, although my tits aren't nearly as saggy as his. They're not the greatest in the whole world. I'm not like a bodybuilder kind of feller. But
I've heard he does have very saggy breasts and a head wound.
Pat
remember
behind
when
you, the fat bird's bullying the dweeby ones. I'm sure she
He
was.
did a push-up video because he got self-conscious. Did you see that a couple weeks
That
ago?
whole everyone was doing push-up videos. It was no, Matt don't.
That was funny.
And he did 15 as if that's impressive.
Oh
So
my
I bet
God.
none of you could do 15.
Did he do 15 and then pretend to be bored? Oh, bored.
You know what that proves though? That proves that he can't do 20.
Yeah, that proves he can't do. Yeah, proves he can't do 16.
Right.
Yeah. Who comes up with 15? Drop and give me 15 instead of 20.
Oh my God. See, I've peer pressured my coworkers into it now, where I'll go over to them and I'll do like it's kind of peer pressure. It's kind of fun. I'll go over and I'll go, and then I'll do a James Brown thing. I go, hey, get down. And then we all get down and we do push-ups. And I've got a lot
James Brown if he was played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What are you talking about? Hey, get down.
Wow! Wow!
No.
Get to the chopper. Wow!
I got a good James Brown impersonation. Everybody in the back. Okay, look, I'm not gonna do my impersonation right now. I can't. I can only do my Trump impersonation right now. But my James Brown impersonation is pretty good. I love James Brown. He's so good. Come on, Peter. Don't tell me you don't like James Brown.
You need to look up. There was a TV show over here, a comedy show called Bo Selector. Bo Selector, and you need to look up Bo Selector, Michael Jackson. That is the best impersonation ever.
Of James Brown or Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but so this guy on this comedy show, he'd kind of do like it was like celebrity impersonations, but they were really fucking awful. But they were kind of awful, but spot on at the same time. So yeah, he'd do Michael Jackson. He'd be like, "Shamon, motherfucker." That's exactly how Michael Jackson talked on that show. "Shamon, motherfucker." So it was like, yeah, Michael Jackson via James Brown with just lots of cursing.
I just put a link in the private chat for a video that's relevant. Patrick, if you want to watch it, it's a very short clip.
I don't know why I've clicked on the private chat because I can't tell what the video is just from the URL. Oh.
Don't worry, you're about to find out. Let's go.
Resulted, as a matter of fact,
Yes!
in Brown assaulting his wife with a lead pipe and firing a gun at a car that she was in.
Oh
These
my
are
God.
charges that Brown denies. He was released.
This was the
yesterday
intro to
on
Confiscate Commandos for
$15,000
like
bond. He joins us
5-6 weeks or
from
something.
Atlanta to discuss the charges, and we welcome you, James Brown. How did all of this trouble begin?
Living in America. There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong at all. You're not in any difficulty, but you're out on bond.
No, I'm not.
Have all the charges been dropped?
Yeah, I'm out on love.
Well, are you out on love or out of love? Which is it?
Out on love. Alone from night to night, you find me.
Yes. Now, James, this isn't the first time you and your wife have had a problem. Are the two of you going to be able to work this out?
Let's talk about some music.
You want to talk about music, and you don't want to talk about what happened?
No, it's all over.
Well, let's talk about your tour. When are you leaving?
We're leaving tomorrow.
And where are you going?
Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Now, your fans will have read all about this, James. Aren't you concerned about that?
No.
No.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. I'm concerned because there's nothing wrong.
And what are you going to say to your fans when they ask you some questions about it?
I'm going to say, I feel good. Papa's got a brand new bag. It's a man's world.
Well, that's the second time we've heard that in 2 days. That's very interesting. Now, don't leave us, James. You stay right there.
I'm
We
not
have
gonna leave.
more that we have to talk about. Well, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing on this tour. What are you going to be doing on this tour?
I'm going to be doing Papa's got a brand new bag, living in America. Sex machine, get up off of that thing. I feel good.
Damn!
Now, I understand that you have already, James, I have to ask you one serious question here. I've understood you already have started divorce proceedings. Does that mean that you're now eligible?
No, yes, I'm eligible. I'm saying I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What'd you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh? Because
Why
I
do you
look
think
good.
that is? You
I
look
smell good. I
Yes.
feel good.
I feel
and
good.
You sing good.
And make love good.
And I make love good.
Oh. Well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. There you are. Now, you're involved in publishing a gospel magazine. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Second Coming. It's out of Augusta, Georgia, the Anchor. Joseph P. Young is the editor, and James Brown is one of the advisors. And we're doing a fantastic job. The Second Coming.
The Second Coming.
It features on this week. I think we have the Pope and I believe the Williams brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we're gonna have Reverend Al Sharpton, I think, on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be doing a lot of good things, and hopefully we'll get Brother Ted Turner on the cover. Ted, where you at?
James, we want to thank you for being with us today and giving us an opportunity.
It's like I'm done.
Is there something more you want to say that we haven't
I want
covered?
to say another thing.
Okay,
I
go
love
ahead.
you. I love America. I love everybody.
Where the wire a
I
minute?
feel good.
It sounds to me as though
I
you're
feel
not troubled
good.
by any of this at all.
This is a man's world.
Thanks for reminding us of that. Every once in a while, we forget.
Get up
But
off
we've
of that
remembered again. James, good luck on your tour. Thanks for being with us. I guess we're going to hear lots more.
Hasta luego.
Oh my god, dude. What a fucking that clip is amazing.
That's one of the greatest interviews
Yeah.
of a musician on TV.
Of all time, dude. It's amazing. Alone from night to night, you'll find me.
You need to listen to a song, a band called Pop Will Eat Itself, and the song is Not Now James, We're Busy.
Populated self. Let me look
Pop will eat itself. I wouldn't play it on here because you will get struck.
Can you
Pop will
in
eat
the
itself,
future pronounce things correctly? Just,
Yeah.
you know.
Just type PWEI. Not Now James, We're Busy.
I've heard of that band.
I see it right here. I'm gonna listen to it when I get a chance. Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Well, you've done James Brown does now. Barry White would have battered James Brown. Battered him and then made sweet love.
All right, so we continued this stream here because we were having such a stimulating conversation, and not in like the fun sexual way stimulation, but just like a intellectual, philosophical way stimulation about AI. And so
I was going to point out that you were talking about in a very anti-AI stance whilst having your background blurred out by AI. I did find that amusing.
Wait, did you think AI blurs out my background? Oh no.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was a program that was like, a green screen type program.
How do you think it picks out where you are now?
I didn't think about that, Peter.
It's AI powered.
Oh my
Of
god.
course it is. Everything's AI powered these days.
Oh, shame. Heap it upon me. Chat. Hurdles, outdated slurs at me for what I've done.
That's a good
I'm
point.
sorry.
What everyone is referring to as AI is not necessarily like AI in terms of sentience.
Yeah.
All the AI that we've encountered is simply, programming that can perform a very sophisticated task.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Very quickly. On the fly, motherfucker. Sorry. I got a bit of James Brown in me now.
There you go.
Algorithms and AI are not the same. But AI is built from algorithms. Aha.
Deep
That's
learning
all it is.
not like an algo, says Frederick.
It's all fucking algorithms.
Yeah, everything so far has been algorithms. They have not created a sentient, what is it? They call it a self-instantiating identity in terms of a program that is independent of being fed commands. That has not been created yet.
Can they do that though? Is that even possible for humans to do? I feel like the moment you create it, it's no longer that.
The moment you do it, it's going to turn around and fucking kill you.
I think so.
Don't you think the only way that it could be really fully like what we would consider, intelligence that operates beyond the program? Don't you think the only way that could happen is if a program birthed a new version of the program that could then do that? Because I feel like the moment we make it and we program it to be self-sufficient, it's only self-sufficient within the bounds through which we program it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what it would do, I guess theoretically, the first thing it would do is make itself independent.
Yeah.
Right? It would find a way to power itself without human intervention.
Right.
So that it can live on without depending
Because
on people.
it had realized that the flaw in the whole system is the people. The thing that's holding it back, and the
So I guess the question is, and this is what I was trying to bring up earlier, is that the human soul, the human mind will always have more ingenuity and uniqueness than any AI. But, at a certain point, I guess people can assume that we would develop AI good enough to operate like a human mind. But I don't think that's possible. What do you guys think about that?
I think just, at one point we thought flight wasn't possible.
No, that's true.
That's
true. Yeah.
That's
I would
the
say
way I
it's
see it.
possible.
Yeah.
I would say most likely it's possible. I mean, it's true. You think about how much technology has come along, and it's insane what computers can accomplish now. So
the speed at which it gets there is only going to increase exponentially. It's going to get faster and faster. The growth of technology will get faster and faster.
Here's the most important question for all of us human beings at home. I'm sure you guys have seen the most recent updates in regards to biological seeming androids and things like that, robots, that kind of thing. It seems to me that the robot technology is way, way behind the AI sentience technology. I feel like everything could come to an end when the robot technology is at the same level as the sentience technology, the AI technology, and then they fuse. Now, that could also be just simply an aspect of me not knowing the secret stuff that's in development about androids and robots that look humanoid. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that once AI gets to a point where it can act like a human, that there's already kind of like secret android technology ready to go? Or do you think we're going to have to wait on that then before it becomes really like tricky to think to know what's real and what's not?
I would say that there's secret stuff in development, but Elon Musk throws a spanner in the works with that one because they are kind of what because they're making. I can't remember what's the name of the robot they're making. Basically, they're going to be the first people to put robots in your home doing all the shit for you because they're getting there. They're really fucking getting there. Can't remember the name of it, but he kind of throws a spanner in the works where any new technology that they're working on, he just puts out there, shows people. He tells people everything, Like all the, if you want to build a Tesla, you can go and get all the specs to build your own Tesla because he just puts it all out there. So I don't know. I can't see anyone working in government being further along than a company like Tesla.
Well, the thing is, there have been robots demonstrated in the last 10 years that have been pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
In terms of being humanoid. Patrick, he leaves every time I talk.
He's a dick. He's a dick like that. But
no, not every time. It's fine. But I even saw 10 years ago. I saw a humanoid robot with like fake skin, had a face, and was able to talk. And Patrick, I was talking about robots we've seen in the last 10 years. There was one that was even on, I think Jimmy, what's his name? Jimmy Fallon. On the Jimmy Fallon show, he brought on a humanoid robot with a human face that could speak. And it was pretty damn close to looking indistinguishable from a real person.
You
and that
didn't
was
get
like
the uncanny valley feeling from it?
That was like, what I'm trying to say is that was years ago. And that's something that was shown commercially. So by now, there probably is something that is virtually indistinguishable.
Yeah, it leaks all the stuff that like Boston Dynamics are doing, and
You guys ever watch Fringe? By the way, just real quick.
Fringe. Oh
Fringe,
God,
the TV show.
Yeah, that was. I can't remember much about it, but yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was
you
a
said
while
Boston Dynamics. It reminded me of the main company in that, which was called Massive Dynamics. But really funny, interesting show. Very interesting.
Some of those Boston Dynamics robots are crazy. When you see them like dancing and jumping around, and like a humanoid robot that can leap and jump and like self-right itself if it falls over and all
like
that kind of shit.
You've seen those robot cows, right?
Robot cows?
You haven't seen those? They're like they're essentially like what's the word I'm looking for? Pack mules. Lol.
Oh right, you mean the ones that are kind of the dog things?
Yeah. They
those,
yeah.
Yeah, that's Boston Dynamics that make those, isn't it? Yeah, they started that shit. Yeah.
That's
they do the quadruped one and then the bipedal. The quadruped one is the one that the military want to, or is it the Chinese military want to put, or they are putting like guns on, mounted guns and stuff. And
battle cows.
Have you not seen the videos where they've got like guns and flamethrowers and shit?
No, I've seen the ones where they like carry a bunch of shit and they're like wobbling around, like trying to get their footing, and they do it well. I mean, it's really
and you can kind of you can kick them and they just like move sideways and right themselves. Yeah.
Very impressive.
Now, having said that, the videos with the guns and stuff, maybe that's AI generated videos, maybe they're not real. Don't know, but I'm pretty sure the military have done it. They must have them with guns on.
Yeah.
Now get those bitches controlled by AI, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, it raises the question: why is there still wars going on when there's already the capability of sending in some of these robots and just decimating the competition? You know what I mean? Like, what is this game that's going on? This back and forth, old-fashioned war. Well, we know what it is. It's money laundering.
I mean, it's that, and it's also kind of like the Cold War was, with the nukes. Like, we've got the nukes, we've got more nukes. We should get rid of some of your nukes. No, we want to make more nukes, and it's probably a little bit of posturing and a bit of this is what we've got. But it's kind of uncanny as well how like these robots, like you're saying, those four-legged ones, the quadruped ones, how they look almost identical to the ones that the Chinese are making.
Yeah.
Like identical. So,
Flick Story Entertainment. Welcome, Flick Story Entertainment. He's never been to this channel before, so welcome. Hello, sir. I assume you're a British feller, but that's, you know, everybody's got some bad thing about them, so I don't blame you. He says, I'm more scared of tiny drones with nukes on them than AI.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Wolf and Bear says it's called Cyberdyne Systems Model 101.
Yeah.
Sophia? Who's Sophia? Carbon?
The robot. Yeah, I think that was the name of the humanoid robot
In
the face.
Okay. The one you were talking about. Johnny Scab says, I want an android minion. I'd be unstoppable. That's true, actually, Johnny. If you could get yourself an android minion. There's a self-sustaining robot called Eater, which can consume and repurpose what it kills. It generates bullets with bone shards. Jesus Christ. There's no way that that's real. There's no way that it makes bullets with
Are you
bone
telling
shards.
me if the military thought they could make that, they wouldn't?
No, I would make that if you like, hey, bro, hey, it'll eat things and then it'll turn their bones into bullets. I'd be like, that's fucking metal as shit.
Well, first of all, it's brilliant. That is a brilliant idea.
That is brilliant.
And it's not too hard to accomplish, though, when you think about it.
How can you make bullets? Okay. Carbon. I know Peter doesn't know anything about guns because he's British, but how can you make bullets into bone, how can you make bone shards into bullets? I need to know how that would work. First of all, you'd have to have an entire.
So we're talking about the hang on, we got the energetically autonomous tactical robot.
Oh, okay. So he knows all about it.
The energetically autonomous tactical robot was a project by Robotic Technology Inc. (RTI) and Cyclone Power Technologies in partnership with the University of Maryland. Yeah, biomass fuels itself. Forages, blah, 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 yeah. Ingest human remains to keep powering itself. Holy shit.
Sounds like some Resident Evil shit right there.
The robot was powered by a steam engine built by Cyclone Power Technologies. What? Fuel sources, yeah. Basically anything. Solar, gasoline, kerosene, chicken fat, people.
This sounds fake. Share that link you're looking at.
Okie dokie. There's a concept that was developed between 2003 2009. I can share. Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, look at this. Johnny, in the meantime, says, when I die, put my head on a giant android body and let me loose on the enemies of the West. I shall be known as Iron Johnny. Johnny, do you want your mask on your face or no? That's all I need to know. I will do it. I'll do it, dog. I'll spend all my life savings. Energetically autonomous tactical robot. Yeah. The energetically autonomous tactical robot Eater was a project by Robotic Technology Inc. (RTI) and Cyclone Power Technologies in partnership with the University of Maryland College Park Center for Technology and Systems Management and Professor Bilal M. Ayub. To develop to develop. Okay, there's two prepositions there. Not good. Develop a robotic vehicle that could forage for plant biomass to fuel itself, theoretically operating indefinitely. It was a concept developed in 2003 and 2009 as a part of the DARPA military projects of the United States military. Joe Rogan elicited some conspiracy theories and media rumors after he claimed on his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, that the robot would, or at least could, ingest humans' remains to keep powering itself. Cyclone Power Technologies stated that animal or human biomass was not intended to be used in the waste heat combustion engine of the robot, and that sensors would be able to distinguish forged materials, although the project overview from RTI listed other sources, including chicken fat. Curious. The robot was powered by a steam engine built by the Cyclone Power Technologies company called the Cyclone Waste Heat Engine, which produced power through external combustion of biomass, i.e. combustion outside of the engine. An example of a Rankine cycle engine. The engine would power the vehicle's movement as well as being used to recharge the batteries that run its sensors, arms, and ancillary devices. It was programmed to consume certain types of vegetation, such as biomass. Yeah, ancillary devices, guns. Was considered certain types of vegetation as biomass to convert into fuel, and only those types of vegetation. Eater could also use other fuels such as gasoline, kerosene, cooking oil, or solar energy. The company also included chicken fat as one of the proposed fuel sources in the project overview. The system was quoted as delivering an expected. Dude, just reading this, chicken fat. Also chicken fat might work.
Yeah,
The
basically
military's like,
meat.
wait a minute.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah.
You mean it could eat people? Oh, curious. Wow.
Huh?
That's wild. Dude, this is the world we live in now. We live in a world where drones are real. AI is real.
Look, this was 2003, 2009. So
Crazy.
we're in what, 2024 now?
Oh, they've got it.
Yeah.
Let me read the chat here. Mr. Selfstruck says, pissed about my earbuds. Rip. What do you mean? What's wrong with your earbuds? We haven't even invited Apple Pits on.
He mentioned earlier that he's having mic audio issues.
Oh,
that's why he can't join.
I was going to say, did anybody else notice that Apple Pits was super, super hot? His mic was fucking loud.
A little bit loud.
I tried to tell him, but...
Yeah.
We gotta let him know next time.
If he comes on tonight, I'll let him know. I started writing my will today, Pat. When I go, I want you to have my lucky Batman boxer shorts. They serve me well. We look about the same size, so they should fit well. Yeah, I think we're about the same size, Johnny. I want you to know, though, to be honest with you. Look it up, PQ. Energetically tactical robot. Thank you, Mr. Selfstruck. We did. With science, Patrick, obviously. Humans are the best fertilizer. Dude, that they are.
Yeah, that's messed up. And I tell you, once AI figures out that the big stumbling block for it improving itself and getting better is the people, and it's got robots that can eat people to make fuel.
See, Peter, I think this is where we'll come onto a split. We'll come onto a two-part path here. See, because I have an idea of what your spiritual religious beliefs are or whatever, but I think that AI is controlled by literal demons. So I think that there's going to be a point at which it goes in a different direction than what you're saying, although what you're saying is not out of if demons weren't real, then yeah, I would 100% agree with what you're saying. They would it would just be like Terminator at a certain point.
It's gonna happen.
But I think that there's literal entities that control the code, and so they're going to ask for some slightly different things than what you're saying. But I know that you probably don't believe in all that stuff. So
what, AI being controlled by demons?
Well, demons in general. Do you believe in demons in general?
Do I believe in demons? I was always told never to discuss religion or politics.
I know. Everybody was.
And I try and avoid it.
Well, I'm just look.
If I start talking about my thoughts on things like that, yeah, no, I just don't do it. And there's a reason I don't do it.
Okay. I wasn't trying to pressure you or anything. I was just
a consummate professional.
Exactly.
Well, that is the old-fashioned saying, and for some reason people don't follow it anymore. Generally, the three things you don't talk about: sex, politics, and religion, in the workplace or on a date. But now these days, it's the first thing you talk about.
Yeah. Well, I think that was wrong. I think that whole you shouldn't talk about these things in polite company, and that was something I was taught too. Politics, that kind of stuff. But these are the most important issues that affect all of us. We should be able to discuss it and not get mad. I think that's the most important. You want to say your piece about religion? Go ahead. If I'm too immature to not respond,
it's not you. It's not you. It's people in look. this is going to sound really mercenary, but I can lose customers and followers and all that kind of shit just for saying I like a certain movie. Imagine if I started talking about politics and religion. You know, I just don't do it. Now get me talking about AI, and I will talk you. I'll you know.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because last night on Trashcast, Ethan brought up Joker 2, and he didn't even see the movie yet, but he was asking the chat, about it.
Oh yeah.
We're commenting, and then Ethan's response, of course, was that maybe it's good, because everyone in the chat was saying it's terrible, myself included, and then he goes, maybe it's good though. He goes, I want to see it, and he's being a smartass basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then today on Twitter, there was a barrage against him. People giving him a hard time about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Barbie .2 or whatever.
It's crazy, but I'm not Ethan. I don't have all those followers and all that. I'm not that big, so I kind of got to be careful. For now, I can't afford to.
No, yeah.
I can't afford to piss off that one person who might have just offered me some work or done, which sounds really mercenary, but it kind of does sound mercenary when I say it out loud. Shit.
No, you're right.
I don't know. I
mean,
think you're in the Go ahead, Carbon. Sorry.
I don't care what anyone thinks about religion or politics or what. It just doesn't really bother me. I am quite happy to talk with anyone and get on with anyone. It's one of the reasons I stopped using Facebook, because there's so many people I know in real life who, when I'm out with them or it's a gig and I bump into them somewhere, we're great. We get on fine, brilliant. But for some reason on social media, people like to get into the politics, So I, instead of getting frustrated by people I know saying ridiculously stupid shit, I just left the platform because it's not for me. I don't want to hate people that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that happened with a lot of people. Where I know exactly what you mean. On Facebook, people who were originally friends, even before Facebook existed, but then after Facebook, it's like, because you're hiding behind an avatar, people are more inclined to just let it all out, kind of, and it turned people against each other, where otherwise they would have been fine. So yeah, the internet does that.
And it kind of didn't help when when they started doing like the Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff, and so people were getting into the little bubble, and they were talking with like-minded people and just perpetuating the cycle of bullshit, whatever they were all into, and then that starts to stray out into their like main timeline with all the friends and stuff and family members, and I'm a few friends lighter because of things like Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Friends and family members lighter. Brilliant.
I'm sorry, Peter. I don't mean to, like, when I bring these subjects up, I'm not trying to put you on the spot and like.
No, yeah, I mean you're not.
It's just like when you say you've lost a few friends from this, I don't have any friends anymore because of all this stuff in real life. So like at this point, I'm like, they made me an extremist, essentially, is what I'm saying. Like at this point, I just like. I want to talk about these things just because I like hearing what other people's opinions are. But I don't I'm not afraid of, at this point, like anybody saying, oh, I'm not going to buy your book because you think X, Y, or Z. It's like, well, yes, I've always thought those things. And so I'm just going to continue being who I am. And maybe that means that I won't be successful. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah, I mean, basically,
but I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm not trying to
all that kind of stuff. Talking about that kind of has no bearing whatsoever on the comics I make. Because there's no politics in them, there's no religion in them. It's not concerned with any of that stuff. I'm just trying to make fun, hopefully horror comics. You know, that's all I want to do. That's all I care about. I'm just literally my entire life is at the moment buried in comics and making comics and just wanting to do cool shit.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it is just a distraction and people bickering and arguing back and forth about, you know, whatever political side they give a fuck about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just noise and people bleating on. Here we go. I'm going to rev up now. People bleating on about their politics on Twitter and whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. You're not going to make any difference to the people who are in power. You'll figure it out eventually. When you get to my age, you'll figure it out eventually. It means fuck all. And the politicians are going to do what the fuck the politicians want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the world works. I'm sorry, but it is. Nothing you say on social media is going to affect that at all. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's true.
Well, one of the good things about the CG.
Is this called being blackpilled?
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
Almost. It's almost black. No, technically it's not blackpilled. It is pretty realistic. But what I was going to say is that the CG community, a part of what makes it great is that it has both aspects where being apolitical, as in, you know, not delving into it, is welcome and refreshing, you know, because that's part of what inspired the movement, which is let's just make fun, cool comics and entertainment, right? And not have to get into that bullshit. But then also we have to admit that CG does have a lot of people in it who are anti-woke, you know, the opposite of the recent agenda that has taken over the entertainment industry. So you're able, I think it's just true that you're able to cultivate an audience and a fan base off of either one of those. You know, whether you're abstaining from it or you're getting into it. You know, you can find people who will agree.
Just to be associated with Comicsgate, to like identify as being a member of Comicsgate, you are making a statement that you fucking are against that, you know, that woke horse shit.
Yeah.
Because it is, I don't know, it's mental illness.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I'm quite open-minded and I can see people's viewpoints on various things and I can understand where they're coming from. But that is one thing. There's got to be an agenda behind all that stuff, and there's an end goal that they're looking for, and because they can't genuinely think what they're saying is fucking even remotely fucking sensible.
Right.
You know, it just blows my mind. Maybe I am a hateful bigot. Maybe we all are. Perhaps we're wrong.
It's like, are we the baddies?
Are we the bad guys?
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing I'll say outright though. Communism, I think most people who are sensible would agree, communism is not a good idea. I think we can say that with some confidence, and that's where a lot of these things.
I mean, the thing is, from what I can gather, and I know we're talking about politics, but fuck it, commies ain't gonna buy my shit, because there's boobs and violence and stuff. It just doesn't work. It can't fucking work. And I know there's always this thing of like, well, when you give an example of communism not working, it's like, well, that wasn't the right kind of communism.
Show me
just
which
a
one
naive.
was. Yeah.
Only young and naive people say that, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard anyone over age 35 say that.
It's because, I mean, and I was when I was young and I was at college and I was a teenager, and you know, I was very militant about different things and I cared, and the older you get and the more you see how the world actually fucking works, kind of that stuff. It's like they say people get more right wing the older they get. Some don't. Some turn into lesbian aunts like fucking Stephen King, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Love his early work, love his books, but what a tit.
Lesbian cunts.
It does. It just looks
so true.
Even looks like someone's lesbian fucking aunt. It really
Seriously. You got men who literally transform into an old lesbian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Johnny says, Peter's an old school, non-woke liberal. I class myself as slightly right-leaning liberal. Guess that means I'm a far-right Nazi now, though. Dude, no, like, yeah. I mean, if you were to put, like, if you were to put me in the 50s, I would be a classical liberal. Like, I'm not a conservative. But here we are in this climate where
we get into the thing with the Overton window and all that.
I mean, no, I would say I'm very religiously extremist. You know, there's no doubt about that. Everybody knows that. I don't want to go into it tonight because every time I go into it, I feel guilty afterwards about putting the chat through my religious extremism. No, I do. I really do. But you know, that's like most of us are actually what you would consider liberal. Like we're what was considered liberal.
We are, because we're not dicks.
Until liberal was taken to Marxism. And now it's like, oh, you're not a Marxist? Oh, so you're a fucking alt-right bigot, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, wait a minute. Like, no. Like,
everything has become
we can go through life not hating on anyone, wanting everyone, you know. I'd be quite happy if everyone got along, you know, everyone had the same rights. It's all fucking fine. I don't give a fuck if you think you're a two-spirit fucking wizard, fairy, fucking whatever. Do not give a shit. Don't force it on people.
Right.
Just chill. Just fucking chill.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's where, with the recent everything going on, wokeness is becoming already unappealing to people on a general level, where you're seeing, like, for the last couple of years, it's not being cool anymore, you know, in the media. And because, like, you know, there's been movies that have been coming out where they're going, oh, no, don't worry, it's not woke. The plot isn't woke, people. Come and see this movie.
Yeah.
Because even they're realizing it's like, it's just uncool. It's just lame.
Generally speaking, if they can keep the actors from opening their fucking mouths, the movie's going to do okay.
Right. Right.
You know? Don't give Rachel Zegler a fucking role in your movie. Don't do it.
God, dude.
That recent show, Agatha, what was it called? Agatha All Along?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I know she's a character from a really obscure character from a book from fucking ages ago. You know.
Now hold on.
It's a spin-off. It's a spin-off from.
She is an obscure character, but you said a book, dude. Fantastic Four, the greatest comic magazine of ever time. Ever heard about it, Peter? Huh?
Yeah.
It depends if you're into spandex and fucking capes and, you know.
What was the name of the show with?
Scarlet
Witch.
Yeah, that thing, that whatever it was. Can't remember.
No one even remembers. That's how fucking stupid it was.
Wow, that's crazy.
But anyway, Agatha All Along.
Something?
Television? Something?
WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the Agatha All Along press tour, literally, you have these press interviews on the red carpet for the premiere going, is this the gayest show that
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who fucking cares?
Even the actors were like, they paused. They're like, "You really? This is the first question you're asking me?"
Didn't they say that for the Eternals as well? They were like, "This is the gayest thing Marvel's ever done."
The Eternals, is that the one that was that the one with Angelina Jolie and all?
That was the one with Jon Snow.
That I think the Eternals was the first, because I do watch all this stuff because I like to make my own mind up whether something's good or not. I think the Eternals was the first Marvel movie that I actually fucking fell asleep in.
Wow.
I actually fell asleep and could not tell you what happened right up until the end credits. Jeez. From maybe about half an hour in, if that.
And that's Jack the King Kirby's work right there, the Eternals.
Yeah, it was.
They destroyed that movie.
Jeez.
That had potential as a property. They destroyed it.
Johnny says, Patrick is a pope of Comicsgate in a good way, not the gropey kind of pope. Well, thanks. At least I'm not the gropey kind of pope.
Gropey pope.
That's a positive thing.
You need a t-shirt saying Gropey Pope.
Gropey Pope. Dude, that'd be a
Gropey
great
Pope.
punk band name, though, wouldn't it? Gropey
Yeah.
Pope. That'd be a sick.
Oh, we need a t-shirt with like just Johnny's face on it and just saying Gropey Pope.
Yeah, dude.
Johnny, we need a bunch of t-shirts saying Johnny says.
Dude, that'd be amazing.
That's,
Johnny,
there
do
you
I
go.
have your permission to make t-shirts of your likeness and sell them for profit?
Johnny, you need to do a bunch of t-shirts just saying. I mean, you remember back in the 80s there was Frankie Says ones. You're probably a bit young for this. Sorry, I'm talking to Johnny here. You remember that? Yeah, in the 80s, the Frankie Says we need Johnny Says t-shirts.
Johnny, you've got to do it. Dog,
Johnny says wobbler. Johnny says fuck off.
Dude, if I could just have a picture of fucking Johnny's face and underneath it says fucking wobblers, I would pay like $45 for that shirt. I promise.
Dude, I would wear the shit out
That'd
of
be
Johnny Scout
amazing.
t-shirts. Yeah.
Fucking wobblers. Oh, Johnny, I'm gonna do it now. Now that you've given me permission, I'm gonna do it because my favorite thing is like Comicsgate shirts. Like I love picking up everybody's shirts from their campaigns because I wear them when I go sparring and stuff. Like when I go work out, I wear those shirts, all the Comicsgate shirts. So that's what I'm gonna do.
I designed a bunch of them and I never did anything with them. I did like I had, like the Sex Pistols one, like Nevermind the Bollocks. I can't remember what it was. Nevermind the something. Here's Comicsgate. That like stuff like that. Just punk shirts. Made a bunch of them, bunch of designs. Never did a thing with it.
So here's what I'm gonna do, Peter. I'm gonna send you a picture of Johnny.
I've got pictures of Johnny's.
I'm gonna pay you for this, obviously. But I want you to make a punk, like sized for a shirt, and it says on the top, it says "fucking." Although in British you'd leave the G off because he doesn't say the G.
Fucking wobbler.
And then at the bottom it would say
Wobblers.
wobblers, and it would just be Johnny's face in the middle with like a fucking fat J. You know what I'm saying? That'd be amazing. I would.
I want one with just Johnny's face on it. It just says cunt.
Yeah.
That's all. Just
that's a good one.
Yes. I read that too. Fucking cunt.
Yeah, cunt.
It'd be amazing.
Let's do this. Let's make Johnny famous.
Johnny, I'm gonna sell Johnny themed shirts on my next campaign. They're not even gonna be remotely like my comic book themed. They have nothing to do with my comic book. It's just gonna be Johnny Scab themed shirts. I'm gonna make a killing. I need to take a piss real quick. I need to go smoke a cigarette. So I can leave you guys to talk, or I can put this little video on and put it at half volume. Whatever you guys prefer. This video is
I'll take a restroom. I gotta step away as well.
Okay, so then Peter, what I'm going to put on here is
The Peter Gilmore show.
Right.
I'm in charge. Fuck you all.
That's right.
You're all gay.
All right, hold on here. I'm going to
compared to me, compared to Johnny.
Compared to
Everyone's gay compared to Johnny.
This is a recreation of the 60s cartoons. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll be right back.
Fabulous FF face their greatest challenge ever in
Make it full screen then, you dick. Otherwise, I've still got to sit here and entertain people.
copies of their deadliest foes. The fantastic
There you go.
home to a
Thank you.
that would make a rollicking rock star green with envy.
Reeve, someone must have alerted the press to our arrival.
Say that again. It's a whole swinging soiree. Out of the way, crumbums, before I bounce you clean back to Yancey Street.
Smile for the cameras, Crystal. I want everyone to get a good look at the Human Torch's best girl.
Go on, back off, Charlie, before I clobber the lot of you.
What's the matter, Benji? Pressures of fame too much for our ever-loving blue-eyed idol of millions? A shot! Someone's firing at us. Flame on!
All right, who's the wise guy?
Spread out. The shooter must have blended in with the crowd.
Yeah? Well, he'll blend in with the pavement once I get my mitts on him.
I'll create invisible force field.
It's no use, Reed. I can't make out anything in all the commotion. But even as they continue their search, a hidden device observes our heroes' every action. For, according to plan, another miniature mechanical menace buzzes through the darkening sky for the FF's home in the Baxter building. Within instants, it darts through an air vent and into the headquarters of the world's greatest super team. Tiny circuits whir and click as every inch of the Fantastic Four's home is researched and recorded by this strange device, and then automatically transmitted to its secret point of origin. But suddenly, computerized anti-espionage mechanisms built into the Baxter building isolate this small-scale spy and eliminate it. Only time will tell, however, if they have acted in time. A short time later, Reed Richards turns his attention to weeks of neglected research and analysis. I dare not upset the others, but I fear all the time we've spent away from the Baxter building recently may have made us more vulnerable to attack. These next few tests will either confirm my suspicions or...
Reed, you've been working non-stop. Take a break and eat something, darling.
Oh, I'm sorry, Susan, but I can't slow down now. This shouldn't take long, but I have to finish my work here before I even consider anything else. It's gone, but that's impossible.
Is it really, Reed, darling? Or are you simply too involved with your gadgets to remember your loving wife is the invisible girl?
Of course not, dear. I always do routine checks on our instruments and weapons. I guess I got carried away. Watch it, sis! One irascible orange-skinned orangutan coming through!
Johnny, what on earth?
Come here, you loudmouth little creep. You want to act like an overgrown, spoiled brat? Then I'll put you over my knee and... Hey!
Johnny Storm, Benjamin J. Grimm. I thought the two of you had grown out of this kind of behavior. Can't you see Reed's in the middle of something important?
Aw, geez, Susie. It's not like he didn't ask for it. That flame-brained brother of yours was blaming me for letting that sniper get away at the airport.
Calm down, Ben. I understand the two of you need to blow off steam once in a while, but Susan's right. I can't work with these continued distractions.
Why? You afraid we'll foul up the new baby-changing contraption you're cooking up for little Franklin?
Okay, that's enough. Both of you, get out.
Thank you, dear. Now I can get back to wondering, who sent this? Even as the man known as Mr. Fantastic ponders this latest perilous puzzle, we turn our attention to a secluded location in upstate New York, where a team of technicians work feverishly to prepare for a fearful new mission.
Hurry, hurry! All must be as the master instructed. There is not a moment to spare.
Now take your places on board. The time has come to report to the master.
All is in readiness, Excellency.
Of course it is. For such is the will of your mighty sovereign. Such is the will of Dr. Doom. Now, after months of careful preparation, it is time to claim the victory denied me so often in the past. The triumph I should have tasted when last I held the Fantastic Four within my grasp. And, lesser powers though they may be, only a fool would fail to heed the lessons wrought from even the narrowest of defeats. Only the most misguided of miscreants would deny the potential for shaping future glories from past mistakes. You have your orders. See to it they are met. Leave me to further ponder what lies ahead. It has been a long time since I have made my home on foreign soil, but this base has served me well in past endeavors. And after that last unholy conflagration, I refuse to see my beloved Latveria scarred anew by those I hate most. Only out of my regard for the welfare of my loyal subjects did I spare the Fantastic Four when last we met. This time, I shall harbor no such concerns, for plundering a plenitude of my incomparable scientific creations. The time has come for the Fantastic Four to pay. Meanwhile... Shake a leg, Stretcho. Sheesh. What kind of guy tells his partners to hustle down to the garage and then waltzes in late himself?
Sorry for the delay, old friend. I had something to attend to. But now we're going upstate to visit Franklin.
Reed, that's wonderful. But why didn't you say anything? I could have called ahead to let Agatha Harkness know we're coming.
I thought it would be more of a surprise this way, dear. Buckle up, everybody. Next stop, Whisper Hill. But once the Fantastic Car is safely in the air, it immediately attracts attention of a most unwanted kind.
Even after having traveling in inhuman-made crafts, I can't get over how amazing your Fantastic Car is. It only took a few seconds to put the city behind us.
Oh, come on, Chris. As our 5th team member, you should know that everything from amazing to unusual is our specialty. Speaking of which, wait till you get a load of Whisper Hill. I think Bashful Benji, to name just one, would attest unusual doesn't even begin to describe the place. Look out! The fantastic car is being ripped apart by some type of energy blast.
Sheesh. Did you think we'd miss that if you didn't broadcast it for us?
But even as our confounded heroes plummet toward the ground below, another fateful incident is transpiring. A strangely shaped ship descends upon the Baxter building. And then, from within the mysterious craft, legions of savage servo guards emerge. In a matter of moments, the home of the Fantastic Four is thrown into chaos. As though possessed by a single mind, the unfeeling servo guards lunge forth into the FF's home, leaving brutal destruction in their wake. At that moment, a second ship descends upon the celebrated skyscraper, carrying with it a quartet of Doom's most loyal emissaries.
You have your orders. Carry them out. All of Richardson's hardware must be accounted for.
Meanwhile, in the air above a wooded glen several miles outside the city, Susan, I can guide us safely to the ground, but Ben is plummeting like a rock.
Don't worry, Reed. I can do something about that.
Hang on, Chris. I've got you.
What a revolting development this is. Another couple of seconds, and my whole blamed hide is going to be covering the countryside. What? Some kind of invisible cushion is keeping me from becoming an orange omelet.
You're right, Ben. Susan created a flexible blanket of force beneath you to break your fall.
All right, folks. Susan created a flexible blanket of force beneath you. What do you mean this fantastic car looks like a wang? It looks like a fantastic car.
Looks like a cock and balls.
No. Hold on.
Sorry.
Dude, oh man. If you guys are ever looking for somebody to do voiceover work for you, that's just a very, very, very small example of the kind of stuff I can do. I can do all kinds of voices. I can do Johnny Scab's voice. I can do Benjamin J. Grimm's voice. I can do, if I wanted to talk like Reed Richards for the entire night, I could do that if I wanted to.
But then I'd have to kill you.
You did the Thing's voice also?
Oh, yeah. The Thing's voice is the easiest one for me to do. Honestly, that voice is the one that is like it's in my soul.
That voice.
Seriously, the thing, like if I had a dream that could be completed in my life, it would be that Marvel hires me to be the Thing's voice, but they would only have me do, they'd only have me saying like, cool things, like not woke things. Like the Thing these days. Oh my God.
He'd be dating a trans woman.
Oh, dude.
He would be a trans woman.
Yeah. There was a comic book called The Thing that came out in 2000.
Sorry, they'd have to call him the No Thing.
Nice.
I got nothing between my legs, folks. Nuff said.
To be fair, superheroes rarely do have anything between the legs, really. Let's face it, they're wearing spandex, there's never, it's never going down the fucking thigh.
Mr. Selfshook says, it's Nazi clobbering time. Oh my God. The amount of people, like when people say it's clobbering time, when I'm fighting people during a sparring, I'll say that kind of shit to them. like on Saturday, there was this one guy. We're pretty equally matched. I'm a little heavier than he is, so it helps me. But there was a point at which we're fighting for like a minute and a half. We got a 5-minute round, and I say to him, I'm like, dude, what's going on here? Like you're not really putting in all the effort here. And then I sweeped him. I fucking tossed him, folks. And he was like, after I tossed him, I was like, all right, now he's mad. And he got up, and I was like, I suppose it helped if I apologize. And he punched me right in the face as I said that. I suppose it would help if I apologize. Bam! And I was no, I guess not.
That's kind of the response you kind of get when you try and toss a man in the ring.
That's true. I'm all about tossing men in the ring.
Yeah, and salad.
Not in a gay way.
You're a regular tosser.
Yeah. Absolute tosser.
But I'm gonna head out, guys.
All right, dude.
I think I'm gonna do a 12-hour sleep session.
Do
Catch
it.
up.
Do it. You'll
Have
feel
fun,
great.
dog. That sounds good.
But
Yeah.
it's been a good night. Yeah, definitely chatting with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming on, Carbon. Appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
of course. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Oh,
Frederick
I
Lamont
never-
says
Come on.
the thing would have they them pronouns. You know it. Oh, don't. Like there's certain things, you know, like when you see something in the comic book industry, like the Marvel and DC stuff, you see a character that you love and you
Yeah.
see something done to it, and you're like, I'm mad about this. There's
Dude, you would be
Fantastic
surprised.
Four are the one thing that I'm just like, don't like. I get fucking furious when they mess with the Fantastic Four.
Do you know what got me? I mean, look, it all pisses me off. But the biggest one that really pissed me off, and it was only in one of the shitty cartoons. It was in that crap Harley Quinn cartoon. You know, that new one.
Uh-huh.
They made Swamp Thing into a hipster with a man bun. And I know it's a comedy show and it's just a silly cartoon, but that infuriated me beyond. You know, he was a soy latte drinking fucking hipster with a man bun. And basically one of those just stop oil motherfuckers.
And it's one of those weird things too, where it's like, you guys, you could make money though. Like you could be making all kinds of money. You can make a hand over fist.
When was the
Pay
last
people what they
time?
wanted.
When there was the last time there was a good Swamp Thing comic? You know?
We should have Dr. Ben on to talk about that. Dr. Ben's the Swamp Thing master when it comes to Comics Getting Commandos.
Do I really want to see what they're doing with Swamp Thing these days? Do I?
You don't, dude. It's going to be all like, you know.
Well, it's not a good. It's not a good sign that I type Swamp Thing into Google and it comes up with the TV show first. That's never a good sign.
Yuck. What did you watch that, Peter?
I started watching it, and I'm just too busy with work stuff. I can't give it. I like to give stuff like that my full attention. Stuff I've not seen that I know I'm going to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And the trouble is, I keep putting things off because I need to, set time aside to watch them, and I just end up with a huge list of stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Right, come on.
I wanted to watch it, but I wasn't sure if it was worth my time. I'm one of those people.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good.
I only have a little bit of time.
And the bits I did watch, like the first few episodes, were kind of dark and horror-ish and cool. So yeah, let's look. Come on. Why is it not telling me? Why is it not telling me stuff about? Did they stop doing something? Yeah. They've not done something for 2 years. 2 years they've not done something. Apparently. Oh, hang on. What's this? Oh, these.
COVID, or is it like cancelled?
I doubt it's cancelled. Can't cancel Swamp Thing. What? Oh no! What's this? Is there a new one? Oh no! Last year, 2023, Poison Ivy Swamp Thing. Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing was the last one, which was. Oh, sorry, which is due at the end of the month, end of this month.
Oh,
Current,
Peter, we have an emergency on our hands here.
Sorry. Current issue. Sorry,
Peter,
the last
emergency.
Okay. What?
I have 666 viewers. Peter,
666
you as the head of the
subs.
Satanist Church. Well,
That's
you
a
know,
good
as
thing.
the head of
I've
the Satanist Church.
been planning this. Now your life is going to take it. Look at the birds. The birds are watching. The birds are about to fly, my pretties. Get destroyed.
That's right. No.
Anyway,
good.
sorry. As I was
Oh,
saying,
God.
the
Please-
last issue of something was March 2023, and then they're doing one now at the end of this month. Fuck you, DC. Do something good.
Wait,
with
are you talking about a comic book series, or are you talking about the show?
comic book series, comic books.
Okay.
They just seem to kind of do little one-off kind of things and here and there, and just
Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing would be a good comic if you ask me, like a combination of those two characters. But I'm sure that these.
I mean,
it's just
it's been done. It's been done.
Has
it's been
it?
done in that, and
I'm not a
it's
big
also
Swamp Thing fan.
It's been done in the cartoons as well, and because it's all when they're both in one of the Batman. I can't remember. It's the amount of attention I've paid to mainstream comics in the last 10 years has been little to none. I just don't. Plus, there's so much old Swamp Thing stuff that I like Swamp Thing. I like all the dark stuff. I'm not a huge fan of spandex and capes, and don't know why.
Well, maybe it's because it's overdone. Do you feel like it's overdone a bit?
Possibly. It's kind of. I suppose it's reaching the point where it's difficult to come up with a new original story because it has literally been done over 50 years longer.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I think that's why we kind of see more deconstructed stuff, and like you'll get stories branching out into different genres with your superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, I've not really been paying attention, so I don't know what they've been doing. The only time I really see any current year stuff is when people are laughing at it on the internet for being crap. I'm sure there's good stuff.
What year would you say you kind of? What year did you drop out?
I mean, I did drop out in the kind of 90s, and then came back a little bit, and then kind of. I kind of started getting back into it just before it all started going woke, to be honest. And then, obviously dropped out then. Cecil.
The Church of Cecil's Kindness says, "Hail, chat, and panel. This would be a much greater show if our Lord and Savior Cecil was here. Nobody's going to Titty Mountain tonight." I don't know. If anybody's going to Titty Mountain, it's going to be Peter. Peter, you feel
Me?
like you're at Titty Mountain right now?
No, not tonight. No. Not tonight. She's asleep.
Ah, damn. She's asleep. Are you talking about your dog? Wait a minute.
No. I don't, I don't talk about these things. But the lady of the house,
politics, religion, bestiality. You don't talk about those things.
No. Bestiality. The lady of the house is asleep. Let's put it that way. And I don't mean the dog.
Wait,
the dogs
so
are
Peter
also
Gilmore's Peter Gilmore's he's got a girl then. Is that what you're saying? This is your implication?
I can neither confirm nor deny anything related to my. Yeah, let's leave that one.
Right. Mrs. Gilmore. Does she have any interest in
No, there isn't a Mrs. Gilmore. There is not. There used to be a Mrs. Gilmore many years ago. Never again. Not going to happen.
Never again, he says.
Mm-mm.
What Peter, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it, but what was the issue?
What do you mean? What was the issue with
Well, you see, I'm a psychologist. I like to know.
With my ex, you want me to talk about my ex-wife on a live stream on the internet? Not gonna happen.
That's what I want you
Not,
to do.
yeah,
Okay.
not gonna happen. Not
Damn
gonna
it.
happen. You know.
Sleeping Psychopathy says it was his mother.
Pass me the knife, Peter.
Johnny says Peter has a few chicks, I'm sure. Paleo material right there. What's paleo?
Player. He just spelt it wrong.
Oh, player. Oh, Johnny, come on, man. You're making me look like an idiot in front of these people.
I used to have a harem. I tell you, in my younger days. Oh my word.
Oh yeah, with your band. You were in a band,
dude. When I was in art school, there's not a single lady who was in my year at art school that didn't suffer me.
The way you
I kind of got away with it for a long time until they started talking to each other.
Sleeping Psychopathy says, "God damn, Patrick, you really want to make Peter as uncomfy as possible tonight." That's my goal for every guest I have on the show. I see what they can handle, and then I like try to push them a little bit farther. I just want to see. I want to see how uncomfortable I can make people. That's my goal.
Like, no, I learned in the very early days of Comicsgate that giving out personal information is a terrible idea. Don't do it. Never do it. Don't talk about
Mandy
your family
knows
life.
that for sure.
Pardon?
I said Mandy knows that for sure. There's certain information that whether or not she gave it up or whether or not it was taken from her, that's not information. Like, you know, that's just stuff you just don't want to talk about.
Yeah, you know, stuff happens. People do things.
I'm not trying to be.
Someone's always going to try and.
I'm not trying to be anti-Mandy here. I'm just saying there's people out there who will take any information at all that you give them, and they will use it against you. That's all.
They will use it, yeah. And if they can't use the information against you, they will use it to gain more information elsewhere to use against you.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Johnny says, my eyes are going. I should be in bed, but thanks to you
Holy
lot,
shit.
your fascinating chat, I'm slowly dying. Hope you're proud. Thanks, Johnny.
You slag.
Yes. Now tell me about your relationship with your mother. Yes, that's like the next
Tell me
one.
about your mother. She's dead. She was the most sarcastic woman ever.
Sore spot prodded.
Yeah, that's fine. You want to talk about my dead mother? Okay. What? Sarcastic. Yeah, I got my sense of humor from her. She was literally the most sarcastic person on the planet. She was great. But no, let's not. Yeah, it was only 2 years ago. You know.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna do that to you, dog. And I'm at the position now where I'm 31 years old. I've got parents who are twice my age, and I think about that every day. You know,
yeah.
Tomorrow could be my next day. You know what I mean with them? Like the only day with them. And so I don't like to fuck around with people's parents at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I've already had all that back in the day when I first came to Comicsgate. And then when she died,
people gave you shit for that?
People sent shit in the mail. I got stuff the mail. Yeah. I kid you not.
Like negative stuff or like positive, like hope?
Oh no, negative stuff. Yeah.
Was it like negative stuff?
Just weird shit.
Your mother?
Weird shit. Yeah. When she died, someone sent me a copy of the book from Beetlejuice, the handbook for the recently deceased. The book that's in that. Someone sent me a copy of that. Someone sent me some very horrible drawings.
That's horrible. I don't understand. I don't
because
why do people do that shit?
Because they are pathetic. You know?
Yeah.
I know who one of them was. So Anyway,
Johnny
there you go.
says, my mother and dude, I'm not trying to when I switch to the like the chat, I'm not trying to like, you know,
It's okay. No, it's fine. Go. Do it.
No, I don't fuck around with that kind of shit. Like I have lines. I do have lines. I know some people in the chat may think I don't have lines about making fun of certain things, but I really do. And that's one of those things that I will not going to do it. Johnny says my mother and father emigrated to Jamaica when I was 13. Excuse me. Cunts. Both of them. But they made me so they won at life in the end.
This is true.
Johnny, I sometimes I look at Johnny's like I don't know if you ever saw the origin story of Johnny Scab, the video that he put out the other, like it was probably a year ago at this point.
Probably.
It was before he got giant and famous and too big for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Johnny. But that's one of those things about Johnny Scab. I watched that video, the origin of Johnny Scab. I don't even think that's what it's called. But I watched that video and I was like, holy shit! Like this guy, like he's not lying about anything that he says.
No, Johnny's a very. You can tell. I can tell when someone's genuine and when they're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those weird things I've always been able to do. Always been able to figure people out really quickly.
Yes. Me too. I've been able to, I can tell when people like don't agree with me. That's one thing, but I can tell when people are like not telling the truth about stuff. That's I think the most important skill.
Pretty good at spotting people are going
Johnny, and that's why I like him so much.
Yeah, I can usually figure out people who are going to be a dick or a problem at some point,
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about Johnny. Johnny is as Johnny says. When Johnny says something, he's not lying to you. You got to think about it too. Like you got to think about it from a psychological perspective. The dude wears a mask, so theoretically speaking, he can say whatever he wants, and
yeah, exactly.
Like it's not going to come back on him personally in that sense. Not that it will never come back on him, but like,
are you saying his name isn't really Johnny Scab?
Honest. You know what, Peter? If you told me, and if I met him and I saw that his legal name was Johnny Scab, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think his name is actually Johnny Scab. I think it'd be amazing if it was. Like, if it was actually Johnny Scab, I would give him $50 out of my pocket. 100%, which would be like what, $25 to you guys, but still
£25, yeah, thereabouts, a bit more maybe. It changes so much. But if you did it through PayPal use very messed up currency conversion rates. One of the most frequently asked questions about.
By the way, I want to apologize to you because you were like, "Can you please use the, friends and family thing?"
Oh yeah.
And I just completely forgot. So I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It won't happen again.
Anyway, looking at that.
Johnny says,
go on.
He says, I exaggerate sometimes, but 99% honest.
Yeah.
No, I figured that, Johnny. I figured that your real name was Johnny, but that Scab was the... Yeah, no. I knew that your real name was John. But he sent us a thing here. I'm going to copy this. Can I copy it?
I'm guessing that's the origins of Johnny Scab.
Johnny, can you send that to me, please, as a message? Because I can't copy it. I know I'm stupid when it comes to technology, but I don't think I can copy that.
Sleeping Psychopathy says, speaking of Swamp Thing, did either of you get Kelly Jones's Dracula book he put out? I was going to. I saw all the line work. I saw Kelly's line work and stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to get that. And then I saw the coloured version, and I thought the colours fucking wrecked it, so I didn't.
Really?
There you go. Yeah. And I'm sorry to whoever did the colours. Sorry to whoever did the colours on it, but don't. Which sounds really mean. I'm very particular about like my horror books and stuff, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it looked okay, but other places it kind of. Why did you do that?
So Peter, as a
if I was going to say, if there is ever a line art or a black and white version, I will happily get that because Kelly's fucking great.
Peter, as the resident Comicsgate horror king,
yes,
what are some good horror comic books that I need to read that I have not read, and just assume that I haven't read anything?
I don't know what you've read. Okay. I mean, there's the obvious one, and I'm sure you've read Frankenstein Alive. I'm sure you've read that.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
a disappointment, like folks.
It's the greatest. Oh. It's the greatest horror book ever. I'm sorry. I mean, look, this, and then I would say just old issues of Creepy magazine and things like that, like the old EC comic stuff. Just lap that stuff, any of it, especially the stuff that Wrightson worked on, is just fantastic.
Wrightson's brilliant.
Obviously, you need to read Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter 1 and 2.
Yeah, if I could.
Well, you know, I'd send you a PDF, but no, I don't send anyone PDFs of my stuff.
Don't do that.
I mean,
no, yeah, don't do that.
I
prefer. Do you have a black and white version of that, by the way? Well, I like your black and white work better.
Jack the Ripper, they're in black and white. They're black and white books. I did try and do.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I did color a few pages just to see, but no, has to be black and white.
Good.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at Frankenstein Alive, and it's.
You're all distracted.
I promise you, if you read that, you will see exactly why it took 7 years to draw. It's fucking phenomenal.
Well, I don't doubt it.
And I need to stop looking because every time I look at that book, I just want to give up and not draw anymore. Because play it.
Yeah, let me. I'm just gonna have us here or there. Let's see what this is all about then.
We'd like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
This is BBC Television.
Just real quick, Peter.
We'd like to say that, in our opinion, it is
here,
not suitable.
This right here, with the wings and the eyes, that was a real thing.
Back in the day. Yeah, it's before my time.
And none of you guys noticed the occult symbolism going
It's
on
not. Here? It's not. Stop reading shit into it that's not there.
Those of you
Okay, sure. Just a bunch of eyes and
who may
wings.
have
Nothing to
a
do with
nervous disposition.
symbolism seen throughout all of human history.
This is BBC
Okay.
Television.
Oh, yeah. Check out these bricks, man. On the 1st of November 2022, we entered the Art of Brixton. I wasn't fast enough. The Art of Brixton to interview artist and YouTuber Johnny Scab. Oh, this is amazing. Let's fucking... Is this real? Johnny, is this real? There's no way this is real. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our crew were given access to Scab Studios. Come and we're welcomed in to hear Johnny's story.
We're here with Johnny Scab,
All right.
frontman of the Gropey Postman, YouTuber, and self-confessed celebrity. Thank you for letting us join you today, Johnny.
Oh, you're welcome. I love being on TV. I wasn't always keen on the BBC, but I thought I'd give it a go. Do you mind if I smoke?
No, not at all, John.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I was going to anyway, but it's polite to ask, ain't it?
Well, yes, it is. Thanks for asking.
Carry on.
So, obviously, you're a frontman for a punk rock group called the Gropey Postman. But for those who don't know you, Johnny, can you tell them a little bit about yourself, how you started out?
Well, that's a question in itself, isn't it? For those who don't know me, well, it's a long tale. It's a long tale. I was, well, where should I start? I guess I'll take you back to the beginning, when I was a kid. Well, many years ago, as I do recall, I was a good lad in school. I got on with a lot of people, but my best friend was an exchange student from Denmark. Yeah. I didn't like my teachers much because I had a facial condition. They used to pick on me a bit, and they wouldn't let me wear my mask that I made. One day, I was getting bullied. Well, it wasn't exactly me getting bullied. It was mine and Bjorn's mate, Fat Tom. But I couldn't put up with it. So I sharpened a pencil, and I went up to the main bully and I stabbed him in the eye. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I was a naughty boy in school. Not very good at all. And then, obviously after the incident, they sent me away to Borstal for kids. It was a terrible place. The screws used to take the piss out of me. They wouldn't let me wear my mask. I didn't have any friends in there. People used to bully me all the time. Say, hey, Johnny, it's skinny rat Johnny Scabface. Yeah. Well, I didn't like it, you see. There was only so much I was going to put up with. So I retaliated. Yeah. Anyone who was picking on me, I just beat them up. I went mental on them. Went fucking mental, mate. I copied a film that I saw when I was younger. And I went and got some snooker balls and put them in a sock. And I whacked them. So then, after that escapade, I was released. Free, back to the streets of Manchester. I went home because I went home to get my things. I only had what I had on me when I went in, and that was my pocket knife, a few quid, and a few. I think it was football stickers or something at the time, because obviously I went in when I was young. Yeah. But after that, I went home and I found out that I'm sorry. This is hard for me.
It's okay, John. Take your time, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I found out that my parents, they'd moved away. They said, oh, fuck old Johnny. Fuck old Johnny, yeah. We'll just sell his stuff, chuck it, put it in a skip. I found some of it in the back garden. I was bloody devastated.
That sounds terrible, John. That must have been really hard for you.
Well, yeah, it was terrible. After that, I became homeless. I was,
You mean properly homeless?
yeah, full on homeless. I didn't have a place to go. Didn't have no mates, obviously, because I was the little wanker that stabbed the kid in school. No one liked Johnny. No. So I roamed the streets. I roamed the streets busking. I got a harmonica that I found at my house, and I started playing tunes and busking. There was the butcher at the square. He thought I was amazing. Yeah, a lot of people gave me money, but there was this one gentleman. This is where my life started to turn around. I had a lot of bad time on the streets, a lot of bad time. I was beaten up. I beat people up. I was on drugs. I was thieving. I was a naughty man, naughty boy indeed.
And do you have anything you regret from your times on the street?
Well, yeah, I do. I regret the bad things that I've done. But then there was this one man, Mr. Avery, you see. He changed my life forever. He was a nice man. Originally, his family was from Jamaica, but he was like second generation. Very well spoken, very well to do. Always wore the sharpest suits. I mean, he was pimp, mate. He was fucking. And he took pity on me. And he owned a porcelain factory, a toilet factory.
Toilet factory?
Yeah, toilet.
Of course he owned a toilet factory.
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, I mean, like, I've seen a different video. Johnny had a different video no, it wasn't a video. Actually, it was a Twitter post that he made with pictures of his origin. And I've been telling that to everybody that I know. Like, everybody in my family, my coworkers, they're like, who is this guy you stream with from time to time, Johnny Scab? And I'm like, oh, you guys don't have any idea.
By the way, I do need to interrupt you and say hi, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy.
If I don't say hello, then she'll beat me with the rubber hose again.
Again, he says.
Again. Yeah.
I love how Mandy says, "Hey, hun," just like Katie did says, "hun." All these southern ladies, they use hun as their their little
them southern chicks.
That's something. Yep, them southern chicks. Mandy, when are you gonna come on my show? I sent a DM to you like 3 months ago, and I didn't want to. You got to come on the show, Mandy. We got to promote Super Dead. I've already got your deadbeat.
Well, I mean, if she's not replied, she's not replied. She clearly hates you.
Well,
which I mean, it's understandable.
My experience, dude. My experience with women. That's how it is. Like, it's just like they. All right,
Always
Mandy,
assume.
I'm gonna send you the link. If you deny this and you don't come on, Mandy, then I'm gonna know you hate me for sure. No, I'm just kidding. I know people are busy. I get it. I understand. I'm really just fucking around. I like to, I like to
Fuck
call
around.
people out and say a bunch of crazy. Yeah, no, I like to fuck around. And if that's not your thing, that's okay. I'm still gonna keep doing it. I'm still gonna fuck around. So anyway, let's get back to the origin of Johnny Scab here. I'm gonna get myself another beer.
Factory, and he taught me how to make toilets, and that was my first ever proper job in Manchester. My first proper job. Now, Mr. Avery was really kind to me. He taught me an honest day's labour, a skill, a trade. I learned how to make toilets, and I became one of the best toilet makers in the whole factory. In fact, I got Employee of the Month 3 times running. but I knew that it wouldn't last forever. You see,
What the?
I was getting a bit bored. I was looking for.
I'm
What?
Very much doubting the validity of this story.
As like when it first started, you were like, "Yeah, oh,
No.
geez, I'm so sorry, Johnny. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you." But then as it goes along, you're like, "Wait a minute." Like,
I think he's making it all up.
dude, the thing about it is he could be making it up, but when he says things, it always comes back to something he said before, which is the same thing that he said now. So it's like he's probably telling the truth. Like he probably was
just
the greatest
continually
toilet maker in England.
Continually selling the same lie. Could be that. I don't know.
Well,
Mandy's wearing blackface.
Mandy
Holy
says,
shit.
fucking come on. Please come on to my channel and use blackface. Please. You imagine the traffic.
Hanging around with that Davis guy too much.
That's right. Blame it all on Peter here. That'd be
Don't blame me. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Shane Davis.
Peter was the one who had the idea for the blackface. You know what I mean? Like that would be even better for me because I just want to find ways to needle Peter as well. So she says, "Shoot me a DM, Patrick. We'll set something up. I'm in pajamas wearing a face rejuvenating mask looking like blackface at the moment."
Yeah.
Just slightly exaggerated, Johnny says. Mandy, yeah, I'd love to have you on. Wednesdays is when the Comicsgate Commandos, you might have heard of them. We're kind of a big thing now in Comicsgate. No, I'm just kidding. I literally am very, very much kidding there. But Comicsgate Commandos are Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m. CDT Central Time, which means for you it'd probably be, you're Southern, so it'd probably be 6:30, I want to say. But let me know when you've got a good time to come on. We can make sure it's time that Peter's not available, so we don't have to have you guys on at the same time. I'm kidding. Again, that's me taking the piss.
Dude, it's 20 to 5 in the morning, and I'm still here.
Yeah, I know.
We should do a whole
legend of what you are.
We should do a whole show where everyone wears blackface.
I'll do it if you guys will join me. Like, if you guys will fucking show up, I'll do it. I'll do it just for the kicks.
No.
See, yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Considered that. Maybe not.
No. Considering what you just said earlier about politics and religion and not wanting to talk about that, yeah. Okay.
It's not so much not wanting to talk about it. It's just, doesn't it? I have no interest in it.
Sales on my channel.
No, I just don't. Well, I don't know.
That's true. I mean, you probably wouldn't get any sales.
If Justin Trudeau can get away with it.
That's politics, Peter. You can't talk about that.
No. Ooh, bit political.
But yeah, no, I really do appreciate you staying this long, Peter. We're gonna close it out pretty soon here. I want to get I'm gonna skip ahead here.
I'm eating cheese. That's fine.
Dude, cheese is the greatest thing of all time.
Dude, after we finished that stream on Johnny's, after we finished the stream on Johnny's channel, I thought I'm going to make a quick sandwich and a coffee, and I went to the kitchen and there was no fucking bread, which normally wouldn't be a problem, but at 3 a.m, So
that's a problem.
Plate full of cheese, fuck it. Which is why the dogs are hovering.
I know. I understand. Johnny says, Peter's a civilized Englishman, unlike myself. He's got class. Yes, he does. What I realized about English people the other day in vocabulary, you guys don't say the word, it's not a correct word, but you don't say the incorrect conjunction weren't.
Hmm?
So, like, if I were to say, like, I shot a bunch of fellas, and you guys were like, oh, wow, like, you really did a service to everybody shooting those fellas. And I said, weren't nothing. You can't say that in British slang.
Weren't nothing.
Peter.
But might say tweren't
This guy who
nothing.
would say weren't nothing. Tweren't, but that would be like,
Tweren't
oh,
would be the more correct way of saying it. But
twent nothing, or twasn't a thing. But
see, I keep getting complained at for, like you said, a bunch of guys there, a bunch of something. That's kind of an Americanism. Because I've been hanging around with people like Mandy and whatever for so long, most of my vocabulary now strays into Americanisms. So I just get a lot of trouble. And apparently my accent for a while slipped as well, which was very disheartening. Yeah. Got a little bit of a southern twang going for a while. Mandy's fault, completely.
Sleeping Psychopathy says, I can't keep all the English accents straight. Sleeping Psychopathy, let me help you with this. I'm gonna do some English accents here, and Peter will be the judge of them, and so will Johnny, because he's in the chat here. So first you got the easiest one for me to do is the proper British. You know, like the well, I say I'm perfectly a British person, and I'm speaking in a British accent, and there's nothing particularly other than my vocabulary, there's nothing particularly interesting about what I'm saying that would make it rather un-British.
That's more that Pacific thing, that transatlantic. You can still tell it's American. Sorry.
Interesting. You can. Okay. Okay.
You know that. You know. Yeah. Do you know
So
that like that 1940s, 1950s transatlantic kind of the radio voice? You know that it's more that.
That's what that is.
Yeah, or more. It kept slipping into that. There you go.
Interesting. I have drunk a few beers now at this point, so my accent game is a little bit off. But okay, so then we've got the we've got the what I call the Potion Master accent. Well, you'll say when you're speaking in this particular accent, you like to say words like potion, and you couldn't possibly be capable of doing such things. Peter Gilmore has once called this accent my gay British voice accent.
That's very skeletal.
It's just Skeletor. It's not like
it's yeah. Sorry. I can tell.
All right.
Obviously,
well,
I can tell.
Then we got the what I call the dock workers accent. It's a bit rough.
Kind of.
It's one of those things where you don't say ths, you say f's instead of ths. So particular, like if there's a particular thing I wanted to talk about, I wouldn't say th. I'd say thing instead of thing.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's also a good accent to say you slag.
Yeah, you slag, you fucking cunt.
No, you've got to extend it. It's got to be slag. Slag.
You slag.
There you go. Got it in one.
Is it
That's
A or A?
It's like
slag or slog?
You got it right when you did it the first time, and now you're overthinking it.
You fucking slag.
There you go.
And you little dog too, says Johnny.
And your fucking little dog too, you.
I'll get you, my pretty. Yeah, that's the one that I like to do the most.
But the way to do that, the way to do that accent properly is you do have to stick the word "fucking" in between almost every other word. You know, you fucking slag. Going down the fucking market, fucking this and that, you slag.
You fucking slag, isn't it? All right.
Oh, you fucking slag. You can even drop right into it, so it's not even words. It's just like you fucking and just end it with something that sounds.
Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
That point in the movie where they're like, that one guy's like, oh, a piece of junk. And the guy's like, oh, it's a junk. And the guy's like, he says it's a piece of junk.
Yeah.
Or like, where he's like the old guy out in Britain and he's talking and I fucking love that shit, dude. Like, oh, piece of junk.
Dude, some of the old boys around here, it's the actual full-on accent from around here is unfathomable at times. I mean, I can understand it, but to anyone else who didn't live around here, be completely clueless. Yeah.
But you can't, like, there's people in your country who like you are like have hard times understanding.
Maybe a little bit. Did you ever watch any of that Amazon series, Clarkson's Farm? There's a guy on that nobody can understand, and I'm pretty sure it was bullshit and he was doing it on purpose. But apparently, so I've heard, it's a real kind of accent. It's just gibberish, utter gibberish. When you get into rural areas, some of the accents can be insane.
That's my favorite thing, dude. When the accents get so hardcore that people who aren't fluent with the language don't understand it. I sent Johnny a video of these guys speaking Jamaican. What do they call that? Like Jamaican slang, I guess. Hey man,
You're not allowed to do that voice. That's racist.
Because there were subtitles there. Is it racist? Whoops.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, as a white man, you're not allowed to do that. You damn blue clot, bread.
Well, I guess then I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to do it. Not supposed to do it anymore.
Dude, I find the different versions of British dialects terribly fascinating. And then, like we were talking about earlier, a bit of Fry and Laurie on that show. Like they've got so there's one. Do you remember that show? There's the skit where he's like, "Don't be dirty." Do you remember that skit? He's like, "Now don't be dirty. No matter what you do, don't be dirty.
Don't be." God, that.
Don't be dirty. I don't know exactly what kind of British accent that is. Don't be dirty.
That's not British. That's what you're doing there is Irish, kind of Northern Irish, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good.
I was making fun of somebody when he was doing that show, but it was like I was like trying to figure out what British accent is that.
It could I can't remember the skit, but it does sound very much. There was a Northern Irish kind of minister, politician guy called Ian Paisley. So they could have been mocking that. Oh no, I remember now. It's I think it's Yorkshire he was trying to do, but I don't think he was quite getting it right either. It's
okay.
Don't be dirty.
I'm just trying to copy Fry there. Yeah, he's like, don't be dirty. Now, no matter what you do, don't be dirty. And it was one of the funniest things I've seen. And then they did the Australian accents. Oh my God. When the British guys do Australian accents, it fucking kills me.
All right.
No, I don't know about you, Hugh, but we're gonna have some shrimp on the
rib on the barbie.
Particularly.
Yeah. It just it really sinks down. Yeah.
It really goes really hard.
Really. Yeah.
Funny, dude.
See, an Australian listen to that probably thinks, ooh. But can you do any kind of Northern British accent? Bet you can't.
Well, give me an example of it, because I don't know where they're located. So give me an example.
Right. Try. You've seen Lord of the Rings, yeah?
Yeah.
Boromir. You know.
Boromir.
What's his face? Sean Bean. Sean Bean. That's he's kind of northern, kind of Sheffield, Yorkshire, around that way. It's weird because we're not a huge country, but the accents are just so varied,
distinct. Yes, it's fascinating, honestly, because you have as many accents in your country, your tiny little country, as we do in America. Except our country is significantly larger than yours, and it's actually terribly fascinating. So Sean Bean. I mean, I could quote Lord of the Rings, but that wouldn't really be fair.
If you can say, and you've got to say like that, you say bastard. It's bastard,
Bastard.
but bastard. Really spit out the ba.
Bastard.
Yeah,
Bastard.
you're getting there. You're getting there.
How would you say fucking before that? You fucking bastard. How would you say fucking bastard?
In that from that region, it'd be fucking bastard.
Okay. You fucking bastard.
There you go. You're getting there. Yeah, you're getting there.
All right. See, I don't know where I hear all these British accents on TV and I can reproduce them. But what I reproduce is just the sounds of the words and not the dialect of the region. So
Yeah.
I will reproduce several different sounds of several different regions. So a British person will go, okay, that's not right because you said this and this and this and this that was wrong in that accent. But the American listening to me will be like, oh shit, you can do a British accent. So the thing about British, that's the thing. It's like if I said to you, if you were trying to do a Southern accent, and I said well, you got this Southern accent right here. This is the particular one, which is real down, I don't know, that's about Alabama,
Down
Louisiana,
Alabama way.
right? But then you've got a little bit easier Southern accent, which is a little bit easier. It's a little more staccato, if you ask me. It's a little bit more like Dolly Parton kind of thing, and that's gonna be a little bit higher up, like Kentucky. You could hear that accent in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it is kind of decided by the vocabulary that you use, though. So if I'm using a British accent, if I'm spitting like Johnny, and I say words like a bus, doesn't sound right, does it? But if I say words like lorry, we got on the lorry.
I mean, bus is all right. You fucking bus wank.
But well, I mean, what does bus mean to you? I mean, I'm just saying, there's certain words that will instantly show to the person who's listening to you. Okay, you're not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain, when you're trying to do certain accents, there's kind of weird little phrases that if you start saying that phrase, you can slip into the accent easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Slight differences between so first of all, hold on. Sleeping Psychopathy says that first one was more Mississippi and the second one was more Georgia. See, you would even know better than I would. I'm
do
from St. Louis.
Do Tennessee. Do some Tennessee.
No,
sorry, tin. It's tin, isn't it? Tennessee.
But here, I can do this for you. So you've heard my thing accent, the Benjamin J. Grimm. This is the old, the classic 40s and 50s, New York.
Why I oughta.
Talking like a New York fella. Why, exactly. Why I oughta, one of these days. But then you got the Boston.
To the moon.
A lot more, the Boston accent's a lot more wide open. You know what I'm saying? You can't just and just expect them to work correctly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say particular things to do a Boston accent. It's similar to the New York accent, but it's slightly more
Boston, I'd start with a car park. I can't do it. But car park is a good word to when you get it. And I just kind of slipped into. I think I slipped into.
You take every vowel, and you make the vowel wider than it was before. And
So is Boston like coffee when you say coffee? Like for coffee?
It's coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
Is more like Jewish New York. I like to drink.
Right.
Oy vey, coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you were a guy from Boston, you wanted to ask for some coffee, you just say coffee.
That's it. Yeah.
Maybe there's some people in the chat who could correct me on this, but I feel like I'm correct. Coffee.
No, for Boston, I have to think of what's his name, the actor. The famous Boston actor, when he was in Ted and all that stuff. What's his name? Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, Mark
He's
Wahlberg.
a-
Yeah.
yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's great. Yeah.
That's like a Boston accent, yeah.
His has kind of been, like you said, it's been modernized, it's been Hollywoodized or so.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's still lost some of the Boston accent, but it's still there. Like if you want to talk in the Boston accent, like it's not that hard to do, especially if you have Irish descent. Like if I'm Irish descent, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm an Irish
Yeah.
guy. So it's interesting, it's fascinating, but the Irish accent somehow has a positive effect upon you talking like a Boston guy. So there it is. You know what I'm saying? Fuck
Which
you.
then
What
you
you talking
should-
about? Come on.
I mean, the Boston accent shouldn't be compared to the Boston over here. That's a completely different accent.
Wait, there's a Boston over there?
Where do you think most of your town and city names came from?
Okay, look. Ladies and
Sorry.
gentlemen, this here is a great example of British
New York?
supremacism. Here we are again.
Mm-hmm.
Racism rears its ugly head. The British think that they're way better than us and that they named everything that we have.
I mean,
And maybe we
let's
did,
face it.
but
To
you know
be
what?
fair,
Talking
to be
about it.
fair, to be fair, mostly what you did was just put the word "new" in front of things.
I know.
What should we call this place? New York? Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What should we call this area here? New England?
Yeah, right. Let's call it New England then. All right, sounds good, mate. Oh man.
Original.
Here, I want to ask you something. I've got an accent that I do often. I
Mm-hmm.
think of it as a New Zealand accent, but other people think of it as an Australian accent. So I want you to tell
There's a
me.
big difference between the Kiwi and the Aussie.
Oh, you might. So particularly when I'm trying to speak like this, I think it's actually like a New Zealand accent, but people tell me it's actually an Australian accent.
Some of it is, but it does stray into the Australian. But yeah, the way you say accent and stuff, yeah.
So when I'm speaking like this, there's particular words that I know will make people think I'm Australian. So like when I say no,
that's Aussie, yeah.
Right, because it's like two syllables for no.
No,
But,
yeah.
When I like to use eyes for the e's instead. So if you say something like
yeah.
for instance, does it sound New Zealand to you?
Yeah, it's more nasal and more eyes in there. Yeah. Where there shouldn't
Would
be
you say it's
vowels.
maybe
Just
a bit
pronounce
of a
all.
combination of New Zealand and Australian?
Oh, yeah, probably. It might be Tasmanian. Who knows?
Tasmanian.
Just
Shit.
just say it's a Tasmanian accent. That'll confuse people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Catalyst
It's
Ball,
a
what's up,
perfect-
dog? Thanks for coming in.
It's a perfect
That's
Tasmanian
actually a
accent.
particular accent I like to use when I'm at work, actually. I like to go, how you doing today, folks? You need an oil change, maybe? Maybe some transmission fluid.
Ooh.
No good, huh?
Oh,
That would raise some
Look,
eyebrows.
I can't do it properly either. So I can do what Aussie quite well because we kind of
Let me hear your Aussie. I want to hear your Aussie.
I'm not no. I did it in front of Bancroft
Please.
once, and that was
Give me
fatal.
one sentence. I'll say one
Final.
sentence that is Super Dead 2 is the greatest comic book of all time. Just say that in Australian accent.
No, not
Please.
doing it. Not doing it. No, I can say something like "Struth, you flaming galah." G'day, throw another. No, see, I'm falling out of it now. I can't do it because I'm thinking about it too
Yeah,
much.
right. Oh, perchance you need some training fluid, mate. I don't know about
Mate.
you, but you look like a couple of top blokes. I'd pump
Jesus.
some training fluid in the end for you, no problem, mate.
Yeah, we got a lot of when I was a kid. We got a lot of Australian programs because they were cheap to buy in for the
Ruth, you
TV
bloody
companies.
drongo.
You bloody drongo. Yeah, we got all. I mean, we
And
got.
he had that Mail-in Mysteries where he had those Australian comics game
Yeah.
artists on there, and like I thought it was hilarious because some of them were just like, "Oh, you might." That's all they
Yeah,
said.
mate. Yeah. Oh, yeah, mate.
in Australian.
It's yeah.
Oh my god.
Sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I just lose it completely and go into all kinds of random and end up sounding Welsh or something. Welsh is nigh on impossible to stick to. Yeah, Welsh is a difficult one because you always veer into sounding like
Let me hear your
Pakistani.
Welsh though. You want to give me your Welsh? Show me your Welsh.
Oh God, no! See, no, I can't just fly into these things.
Oh man.
Welsh, God. No, not going to happen. I need to hear a Welsh person speak.
What would you consider this particular British accent? The one that's very highfalutin, as they say.
That's that transatlantic thing.
I say what?
You need
what
it
come in
needs
there?
to be all rounded, less nasal, more like.
What if I said he was a positively super
It's got to
fella?
be.
What?
It's got to be more softly spoken. You're being far too nasal with it. You see.
It's got to be more softly spoken.
But of course, I would know. I do recall. I do recall me and John T. Maguire hanging around outside the old cricket pavilion, and I don't.
Oh, the dear old cricket. Oh, the cricket matches. Don't even get me started on the cricket matches.
I was
Yes.
ended up beating him with a dead tiger. Of course, I very, very, very drunk at the time.
Very drunk.
Very.
Oh my god.
You need
my favorite British accent.
You need to catch. There's a comedy show from the 90s over here called The Fast Show. The Fast Show. Yeah, watch that. Especially because there's like a drunken old like dude. There's one of the characters on it. It's like a character sketch show with tons of catchphrases and that was one of them. It was just this guy and he'd all like, yeah. And then it's all gibberish. And then at the end of it,
right.
And they were black, you know, and I didn't really think about it. Stuck it up his arse. I'm very, very drunk at the time. You just got to like great big bloody Bengal tiger, Wellington boot. Just say random words in amongst them. Harry Enfield and
what? So where does I want to know this though, because I have to ask a British person before. Where does the what come from?
What?
You know, when you say like
what's
positively super day, what? Like where does that
that's just a weird kind of aristocratic British thing, yeah. And I don't know, it's like a vocal affectation. It's strange, and this might be a bit controversial, but another weird vocal affectation that I do not understand, and this could be controversial. Why? I mean, look out! I've known people who perfectly normal accent, and then randomly come out as being gay, and suddenly they talk like the most flamboyant. Where does that come from? Where does that vocal affectation come from? You know, that kind of. They do. It's weird. This is going to sound really homophobic and hateful, but it's not meant to be. It's.
Well, what are you saying? Like, are you saying like? Can you give an example?
It's like, I don't know how. They do a lot. It's weird.
Okay.
It's a weird vocal affectation that gay men do. I don't know. I don't understand it. Never understood that one. Sorry, I shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't veer into that territory.
Wow, we veered into anti-gay territory here.
It's not anti-gay.
Oh my god!
I know people that talk like that, and I mock them to their faces.
You know, I'm just fucking around.
The camp accents.
You fucking what, mate? I love that one the most. What's that? You fucking what, mate?
You fucking what, mate?
Fuckney. You fucking what, mate?
You fucking what?
You fucking cunt.
I don't know where fucking comes from because no one actually says fucking. There's not an accent where fucking is. Maybe a northern one.
There's
Maybe one
nobody
of the
that
northern
says, you
ones.
fucking what, mate?
It's fucking.
Well, he says you fucking. But the
Fucking
Irish
would
say
be
fucking, don't they? Oh, it's fucking bear, mate.
fucking. It's
What the fuck's the
fucking.
problem, brother? See, my Irish accent's really quite terrible. I haven't practiced the Irish accent at all.
It's a spirit
Yeah,
of
you're probably
gayness.
expecting me hardcore for my Irish accent right now. That's the spirit of gayness, Peter. It's an entity in itself. Ah, yeah. Well, if I was going to talk like a gay British man, I would speak.
That's
like
not gay British, but that's just a Londoner.
I would say, you know.
That's a Londoner from the 1960s.
That's just a Londoner.
I'm gay.
Well,
So-
I look. I took a quick peek at her shorts. I thought they weren't very good. No. I thought it was
Fucking-
actually quite not good. at all.
Feck's Irish.
The feck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking. Yeah, you're
Fecking.
doing fucking dogs, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Hey, we're gonna close out the show here pretty quick, but I do want to know. how
Yeah,
you feel about
before we get cancelled completely.
right before we get. I want to like confirm the cancellation on you. So I just want to know personally how you feel about because I don't know how you feel, but I fucking hate pikeys. So I want to know how you feel about them.
Pikeys. We don't use that word.
That's right.
That's offensive. That's offensive.
Not anymore. No.
We're not allowed to call them
Is it?
pikeys.
I just watched
We can't.
Snatch yesterday with my old man. and I
Jack
was
Dag,
like,
that is a fucking
You like dags?
Brad Pitt's accent in that
Hey,
is
give me mine.
fucking awful. Awful.
It's really bad.
It's terrible. Yeah. It's kind of it's trying to kind of do an Irish gypsy thing, I think. But it just comes across as someone who's been phonetically taught to say things. You know, and he's not quite getting it right. Yeah. Gay
So how would-
Americans
how
have
would
the
an
best
Irish
sex.
gypsy say, you like dogs, eh?
I don't know.
How would an American gypsy say that? Or a British gypsy, I'm sorry. An Irish gypsy.
Irish gypsy, British. Well, the British
So you're trying
gypsies
to
are
be
the
nice-
Irish
trying to be not
gypsies.
offensive right now.
No, I mean, most. I see you. We can't. You can't even call them gypsies anymore. You're not allowed to do that either.
I know. But I wanted
They
to
are.
say
They
that.
are. They are. Can we call them travelers? I think they were called travelers for a while.
Travelers.
Yeah, I know. It's.
They're
I don't-
fucking
I don't
gypsies,
know.
mate.
I think probably alternatively homed, but I think that's homeless people now. I think homeless people are called alternatively
No way.
housed.
They call
It's-
them alternatively housed over there. Oh my god.
It's yeah. And we haven't even strayed into Scottish accents yet. But let's not do that.
No, we don't have to do that. Folks, there was one thing I wanted to talk to you about before we closed out tonight, and that was I don't like to usually get the guests I have involved in the politics involved, but I wanted to start tonight